friends. Welcome to the studio. It's so good to have all of you back. I'm so happy that you could come back and join me here. How was your journey?
Cold. It's cold out there.
Yeah.
And
Well,
you
it's
just
cold
let
in
us
here,
walk
too.
uphill both ways.
Arduous.
I mean, I just kind of wanted you to build character along the way.
You keep
So that-
saying this about
On-
me, and
on
I
the
haven't decided if I like it yet.
We had to walk uphill both ways, but I was able to get a hot dog for a nickel, so it's really hard to say if it was entirely
that was
bad.
cool. That
Yeah.
was good.
Yeah.
I
And,
brought extra bootstraps for everybody.
Oh, that's good.
Oh,
So
I need
helpful.
them. Thank you so
Mhm.
much.
Thank you for
Mhm.
that.
Of course,
Um,
complimentary.
I do have you all in separate rooms because there is a creature loose in the studio. So I'm glad you made it here, but we do have to record from separate rooms anyway.
No, that's fine. And
That
you handily gave us all 2 tin cans and a shoestring so we can talk to each other whilst we're in these
Yeah.
rooms.
And
like
I don't
that.
know how much I can cross the streams with the unprepared casters lore of the labyrinth, but the
As
shit
much
that
as
I've
you
been
want.
through.
I just would have liked some warning about the creature, I guess, because now I'm blindsided and scared.
It's
Well,
true.
no, the creature, it's really more about what, like, it's more scared of us than we are of it. And the thing is
Uh-huh.
that when it gets scared, it does like to destroy things. So we
Yeah.
just
So
don't want to
So it's
upset
scared all the
it.
time?
It's pretty scared. It gets scared when it sees people. Usually at this time of night, the studio is empty and dark, but you know.
This
If
is
I'm-
some sad lore that's been
Yeah,
added.
but,
I
like,
like it.
Yeah.
If
Sad
I'm
Five
not
Night at
scared
Freddy.
of the creature at all, and it's always just slightly more scared than me, then I feel like that's pretty neutral, right? Like we could hang
Yeah.
out, maybe we could like.
Yeah, if it's both
You're
Sarah-
not scared of it at all?
What if
I'm
I'm,
happy to
completely
I'm happy to test
unscared of
that.
it and then
Yeah.
it is neutral? Like, it feels neutral about me. I'm so unafraid of it.
Yeah, I think that's where we're at. I've seen some things in my day, you know. What's another fucking creature in a studio, right?
Yeah. The thing is, I don't know what it looks like because I've never seen it because I don't want to scare it because I know I'm very scared of it.
Okay,
So
so
I
I
know.
Oh, so you've just
not.
eaten the propaganda. Is the
I
thing.
did see the creature, but like low key, they're very self-conscious, and I promise not to describe their physical
Oh,
form.
that's so kind of
But
you.
also, whenever I do, my vision starts to get really hazy at the edges, and everything starts flashing whenever I try to like recall and articulate that. So
Sure.
I just feel like, you know,
Uh,
that's a boundary that they've set, and that's not really my place to cross.
Yeah, that's just them enforcing their,
Yeah.
comfort zone.
Yeah.
All the
Yeah.
more reason to be afraid of it.
See, that's what I'm saying, Candace.
Yeah.
But
It's
Mills,
it's a
if you
respectful
wanna,
fear.
yeah,
I think my
yes.
brain's
like that.
just bad.
You
Yeah,
think
it's
your
pro-
brain just does that?
No, I think that's why I'm not scared of it.
Well, you know what? After the recording,
Maybe
you
it does do
can
that.
do the test run on your own. We'll open the door, we'll let you out, and we'll see
Yeah.
how that goes.
Probably fine.
I think it'll
and
be
I'm sure
fine.
we'll
Probably fine.
It'll be fine. But before we start, I do want to introduce you all to the people who are watching us and listening to us play our
Sure.
game tonight. And I would like, when you are done introducing yourself, which please like introduce all of the cool things you do and how amazing you are. But I would also like you to answer a prompt question that is sort of related to this game. And I think it is, what are you the most boastful about? I want you to say your
I have to pick
Oh.
one thing.
You want Amelia Som to brag about a
Sorry.
single entity?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I think the visual thing of whoever's watching the screen while I respond to that was also very funny.
I want you to share your hubris with me. And I'm gonna give Amelia a moment to think and start with Haley. Haley, introduce yourself and please answer that question.
Hi, my name is Haley Whipjack. If you know me at all, you may know me from my podcasting career centralized over at Unprepared Casters, or you might know me as the guy who talks so long on YouTube about television shows that ended a long time ago. And weird thing that I'm very boastful of is my first car. I talk about it at any opportunity. She was a 1972 VW Bug that my father and I restored
Whoa.
together. We painted her to be blue and white like the TARDIS, and it
Whoa.
made me a minor local celebrity.
Whoa, actually,
Love that film.
That
great
is good.
answer.
That is a
That's
good thing.
So
Yeah.
unique. I
Talk
did
about her
not
all
even
the
know that.
time.
That's really cool.
I still only drive manuals. That's
Same.
the other one.
That's the only way to go, friend.
Oh,
That's just good business, personally.
That's really cool.
Same. My Mini Cooper is manual. I
Love
will
a
never
Mini
drive
Cooper.
automatic.
Oh,
Wow.
I'd
Oh.
rather die.
Oh, that's
Genuinely,
so
I feel like
cool.
when I drive an automatic, I'm definitely getting into a car accident because
Yeah, I'm gonna
there's
fall
so much
asleep.
to do.
I'm gonna.
there's so much to do or not do right now. Too much. Both
Mhm.
ends.
Oh my God, you're both so cool. With that, Candace, would you go next?
Yeah. I'm gonna also tack on that you should learn how to drive manual if you haven't learned
Yeah,
already
please.
because you'll feel like Batman and it's the fucking best.
Just
Hi.
like F1.
Yes. My name is Candace, also known as Candace the Magnificent. I guess I've been going by my last name a little bit too because I'm doing voice acting now. So Candace McAfee as well. My pronouns are they, she, and a sprinkle of he. I am 1/4 of 3 Black Halflings. I'm an award-winning TTRPG performer and GM, and like I said, a voice actor. Thing that I like bragging about. Probably that I taught myself how to play the ukulele. I love talking about the ukulele. It brings me such joy. And no one ever expects
yeah.
you to play the ukulele. Of course, now Cheska Lee is out there, though, a black girl with a ukulele. So now when people look at me and I'm a black femme with a ukulele, they're like, "You're like that other lady," and I'm like, "Sure." But I felt very special for a little while, being this person that taught themselves how to play an unusual instrument, and now I have to level up to the accordion or something so I can be more interesting.
Oh my God, that's a big.
That's
that
very
is a
good.
big leap,
It's,
and I love
an
that you
entirely
do it.
different genre, and I love that.
Do it.
It is
Bagpipes.
I don't
That's
have
really
good
good.
pinkies, so I'll probably fail at it, and I don't have the money to buy one to try on. But it's in my head. I think
That's
about
like
it a
a
lot.
No, I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, that's really
And you're
cool.
going to invent the famous pinkyless accordion, which
Yes.
is going to go huge and it's going to change the whole
That
game.
would make me so happy. People always ask me like, "Oh, do you know
Me
how to do that
too.
like cool finger style ukulele playing?" And I'm like, "No, bitch. I'm like strumming chords. I play my ukulele the way that people play like punk rock on acoustic guitars, just like all four, just full
Oh,
strum.
that's
Oh,
like,
so
I don't-
rad.
that.
I
That's
play
cool as hell.
stupid. Thank you.
No,
I'm glad
I
you
like
think it's
that
cool.
though. That's cool.
For me, I'm like, I always want to do the finger style where people like get really intricate with it, and my hand is like, nah, dude, we're not doing that. Just
That's
scream
really cool.
louder. People will like that.
Yeah.
Robin, you go next. Introduce yourself and then brag.
Hello, beautiful wonderful people. Hey, how's it all going? My name is Robin, Captain Grill on all things. My pronouns are they, them. I have unfortunately, my one main bit was that I did primarily they, but then I did a joke about he. However, that's just simply, it's untrue now, and it's less fun to do that. The thing that I like to brag about is something that Dillin hates, but I have right here. I have
Oh.
every card in the Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering set. I have all of them, and I have them all in this nice little binder. It took me ages to collect them. Final Fantasy is my favorite series of all time, and I like Magic. And I am proud of it. I like it. At the LGS the other day, I was talking about it with my housemate Kai, and like 3 people overheard us, and they were like, "Oh shit, really? That's cool as hell." And I was like, "Oh, thank you very much." And then I left the tallest I've ever been.
Every time someone says LGS, my brain says Latter Gay Saints.
Latter
wow.
Well,
Day
that's where I
Saints.
was. Yeah, I
And
was at the
that's
Latter Day
where
Saints.
Robin was when they
Yeah.
when they did
Big
that,
Magic
yeah.
the Gathering players at the Latter-day Saints. I also feel like I should mention, I made the game we're about to play.
Yeah,
I
you
feel
should
like
be
that's a
bragging
thing that
about
we should
that,
be.
actually.
Yeah, there we go. I made the
you're
game
not
we're about to
boasting
play.
about that one.
No, people are already here. They should know.
You should know me.
You should know me. You should know me. However, you wouldn't know that I also have every single card in the Final Fantasy Magic the Gathering set.
Ames, would you introduce yourself and then choose one thing to brag about that you can?
Yeah.
I know there are so many things.
Hi, I am Ames. You can use whatever pronouns are left over after everyone else has gone for me.
Yeah.
You can find me also on the podcast, Unprepared Casters with Haley. Theoretically, we've both done. I took a break, and Haley took a break, and then I took a break.
For so long.
Yeah, real ships passing in the night, but historically you can, and in the future you will be able to. You can also find me on the podcast Critical Lit, where we talk through old TTRPG adventures, talk about how to make them better, or how they're interesting, or how to run them at your tables. It's very fun. Okay, so I was thinking about this a lot, which is to say I started thinking about it and then I got immediately distracted and then I kind of kept coming back to because I was trying to participate in the conversation. And I think if I had, like, you said, like, what do you brag about? Like, what do you feel prideful for? You want your hubris. I think, honestly, like, my hubris itself, I'm actually really proud of. If magic, like, if there were a cursed amulet, I would be all over that and I would be better at it and I wouldn't succumb, or I would succumb and it'd be very cutesy. Like, I'm very smart. I'm very good at writing. I'm pretty and I'm fun to be around. So I kind of feel like I hit it out of the park on everything. And
One time,
I'm aware
Mill
of
said
that.
if they came in contact with the substance, they would take it and they would just not be bad at
They
it.
would be fine.
They would
Yeah.
just
And I
not
would be
suffer the
fine.
consequences.
The whole, yeah, because, well, that's the thing, is so much evil or like so much magic or bad sci-fi shit. It's like, oh, this is a metaphor for understanding yourself. I'm here. I get it. So that's what I
Your
think I have
hubris
going
is
for me.
hubris,
And, you know, it took
Mills.
a lot of effort.
Your-
My hubris is hubris, but it took a lot of effort to get this way, okay? I grew up in a
Real.
very conservative place in Oklahoma as a closeted black lesbian. Okay, I earned this shit.
You did. And you did, babe. And I'm so
And
enormously
it makes me
proud of you.
stronger.
I love that so much. And the
Thanks.
thing is, I don't disagree even a little bit. I know that if I came in contact with
And that's
some
why
sort
I'm
of
like this, because
fae, I would be like, oh, I gotta call Mills before I say anything to this fae.
You got
Yeah.
it.
Mills
Yeah, I
will
gotta
know.
have someone on the phone who can fix this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My life, I've been surrounded by enablers who believe in me. And this is what you get.
It's been a real hardship for you.
Oh my God. Incredible. I won't introduce myself because everybody knows me. I live here. But my hubris is, and I am going to breeze through this because if I actually think about it too much or talk about it too much, I will cry, is that I straight up, I know and love the best people in games. I just am surrounded by and get to call the best people friends. And an example of that is this call right now. It actually frequently confounds me and makes me deeply emotional. That, like, anytime I would be like, oh, who is your dream table? It's like, oh, I know them all. I can actually build it and make it happen. So that is just the biggest thing I will brag about forever and ever. Amen. We have if you are listening to this podcast, don't stop listening. But if you would like to also get a visual of what's happening, we do have a video version up on Twitch and YouTube that you can see where we are going to be doing a shared map. If you are watching, you already know this. You see it. It's right there. And that is where we're going to be drawing the map, but you should be able to follow along the game anyway if you are listening to this in podcast form. Robin, you wrote this game. Tell us how to play.
Okie dokie. Hello, heroes. How's it all going? So we are playing Rise Wizards, where we are all wizards, trying to get as much magic as we possibly can to supersede the monolith that is in the center of the world. This is a world builder, so we're all going to be building this world together. However, it's also a dice stacker. So we need the 7 polyhedrals. So that is a D4, D6, D8, the 2 D10s, so D10, D100, D12, and a D20. We, over the course of this game, are going to roll a dice. The dice are all corresponding to different rooms in the Wizard's Tower that we are all building individually. And we are going to get a prompt, and then we are going to stack our tower on top of the dice. So the first dice we're always going to roll as a D4, and we're going to, for example, for the first roll, we're going to pick up the D4 and then slide the room that we're building underneath that D4. For the next roll, it's going to be the D4 and the dice we roll. We're picking that up and sliding it under. It's so our tower is getting bigger. We're just building the first floor last in a weird way.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
I forgot about the picking it up part. That is that is the part that makes it very tricky.
It has been something when I brought this up to Vidi. Vidi immediately had started training by picking up dice and then stacking them backwards. However, the first thing we're going to do, this is before we make our wizards, before we start building our towers, we are going to all of us collectively are going to build the monolith. This thing that appeared one day, could be recently, could be hundreds of years ago. We are going to roll a D100, and then we're going to, each of us, because of the D100, look at the table, and then there is going to be a describing word for the monolith that each of us are going to get. And we're all going to collectively kind of like design what the very base of the world is. The monolith is a thing that is able to be seen regardless of where you are on the continent. So we are going to go in order of, I hope that everyone on this screen's order is the same. It goes Haley, Candace, Millie, myself, Dillin.
That's
is that
how it
true
looks for
for
me.
everyone?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Oh,
okay.
weird. Okay, but I like that. We can go in that order.
Okay, so starting with you, Haley, do you want to roll a D100 and then say what the number is out loud? You can either check on the table or I will just say it.
83.
83. Okay, so your word for the monolith is luminous. The monolith is luminous. Candace, would you like to roll me a D100?
Yes. Sorry, I was checking to make sure that I wasn't on mute because I usually am.
I put the turn order there. I'm just going to be drawing this whole time.
No, I love it.
Please, no,
Fantastic.
I like that. I am not a good drawer, so I'm very excited that I have
Yeah.
such a
Meanwhile,
artistic
I'm
symbol on.
fucking Raphael
50.
over here.
So crooked.
Crooked, yes. Okay, so luminous and
Luminous and
crooked are our
crooked.
first 2 words for this monolith. Millie, would you like to roll me a D100?
Yeah. 51.
Luminous, crooked, and zealous. Good.
Ain't we all?
Ain't we all? I got we're having a lot of numbers clumped up today. I got a 41, which is unknowable.
Did we all bring our weighted dice?
Yes,
Was I
of
not
course.
supposed to?
Yeah, no. We're all supposed to be playing with weighted dice. Dillin, would you like to roll the last describing word, and then we're all going
I
to kind of
would.
make a pitch for what this monolith is.
I would 89.
I think I meant to write omniscient. I did. I meant to write omniscient. I spelt it wrong. This is why we play playtests.
Is this
gang.
how
Okay,
British people
what were
say
the words?
omniscient?
Luminous?
Yeah.
Omniscient. That is, yeah. That's how dyslexic people say it, definitely. Okay, so
Luminous,
we've got
crooked.
luminous, crooked, unknowable, zealous,
And omniscient.
and omniscient. So what's a? I'm getting a very
Luminous
I
crooked.
mean,
Sorry, say
I'm
that
getting
one
a
more time,
very
Luminous.
like
Zealous.
The tower wants to replace the sun.
I'm hearing
I
it.
love
Tappy.
that.
Luminous, crooked, omniscient,
me.
zealous.
Oh, okay.
I'm missing one, right?
Luminous, crooked, omniscient, zealous, and unknowable.
Unknowable.
Haley,
Yeah,
you had a
okay, cool.
pitch of the that the monolith wants to replace the sun.
Yeah.
I like that. We could have a thing where it's like maybe in this weird world, this is how the sun is born, and sometimes the sun dies, and then this monolith becomes a new sun and then raises up, and we're on kind of the end of this cycle of the sun, maybe
Getting a new one.
of getting a new
Yeah.
one.
It's being born.
Yeah.
Is
Is anyone else?
Is
Go.
it like the monolith is the sun, or the monolith is like generating a new sun? So it is like,
I'm picturing like a droplet upside down, like it's like slowly building to fly up into the sky and become the new sun, like replace the sun.
okay,
Or
fun.
maybe it's not even the sun. Maybe it's just a star. These are how stars are made.
okay. I like that.
We're around a
Yeah.
monolith where stars are made.
Mm.
That gives me a sci-fi vibe, though. Do we want to be wizards in a sci-fi setting where we
We
make
are
stars?
now.
Deeply, I do.
I feel
oh my
like
god.
so many sci-fi is wizards when you really think about it.
Sci-fi is wizards, yeah. You
Yeah,
can put wizards
my
in any setting and it makes sense.
Favorite sci-fi wizards, though, and I know people are like, Jedi, no. Favorite sci-fi wizard, Krull. That wizard is awesome.
Oh my god.
If you haven't seen
Krull?
Krull,
I
haven't
haven't.
seen
You should watch it.
Krull.
Krull. It is an 80s movie,
Okay.
and it's
Yeah.
awesome.
Oh, is that like
sick.
Kroll the Warrior King?
I think so, yeah. It's like it's
I
like
know
a
that from
weird
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days.
it's like a weird fantasy movie, like Beastmaster and like
Yeah,
Clash of the
yeah.
Titans, like
I was
Dragon
Beastmaster
Slayer,
a
right?
bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that energy, but space, like
Um,
sci-fi for no reason at all. It's great.
I
so
actually
I
love
like
it.
I like this idea, and I like the upside down droplet kind of idea. Makes me think that the monolith is like a ray, like a solidified, like a
Like a
Not a
drop
ray-
of golden sun?
like a drop of golden sun. Like okay, like a oh my god,
Okay.
like a solar flare that has like stopped and frozen on the ground somehow. So like
Yeah.
Ooh.
I
Well,
think
have you guys
that's
seen
cool.
how the solar protrusions that accompany the solar flares? They kind of look like a little bit like coral
Mhm.
unfurling.
Yeah.
Kind of
Yeah.
like kelp almost like in a movement. So maybe it's like a piece of that like has solidified
Oh,
and
that's
like
cool.
has come off in one chunk along with the radiation.
Hell yeah.
Ooh,
That's
love
sick.
it, actually. That's
Cool.
cool as hell, yeah. So we're going sci-fi. Are we thinking planet or space station? It's an important sci-fi question, I think.
That is really interesting. You know what? I could kind of go either way. Does anybody else have strong feelings before I weigh in?
No.
If it is a planet, is it like colonization, or is it our planet that we just happen to be on? and
I would
it's
say it's our
spacey?
planet. If it's a planet, I want it to be our planet.
Yeah.
And if
Cool.
it's
Yeah.
I want it to be ours either way. We are just people who have risen to wizarddom in either scenario.
Okay. I do have a pitch for space station. This can also be planet. Been watching a lot of Babylon 5 recently. And
start.
having it's like Babylon 5 is a space station where all species kind of come to collect in this one place to do like politics. Because this is like we're creating stars. Are we all from different planets and backgrounds? And this
Into
is
it?
kind of like a
Yeah.
galactic middle.
Fun.
I like that.
Sounds like the Federation. I'm into some Star Trek right now.
Fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that
Yeah?
could really
Hell yeah.
that could justify all our wizards to be like really like weirdly different.
Yeah, we get to be our own.
like we could be
Mhm. Yeah.
like we could be anything that we want our wizards to be. I like that very
Sick.
much. Okay.
Actually, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Sick. So, I'm gonna draw a kind of. I'm gonna try for it to be a rain droplet and not look like a balloon that I've accidentally made it look like.
The thing about it is that it is unknowable.
It's
So
It is
unknowable.
unknowable,
And
is the thing.
Crooked's a part of
And
it.
also crooked. So you did it perfect. So.
Thank you so much. I also like the fact that it's unknowable, where it's like maybe one species found it. And then was
They're
like,
like,
I
I don't
don't
get
know
it."
how this works. And then slowly every species was invited to try and help figure out what this thing is.
Yeah.
What if the
Um,
space station was built around this thing because it generates like heat and energy, and it's just sort of like, oh,
like
yeah.
we can
heat?
just
I like
Almost
it.
certainly.
Yeah,
can
yeah,
just-
yeah.
Yeah.
we can just build a space station here instead of trying to like fly our energy in and build it. Robin,
I
can you
like
do me a
it.
favor?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just for
darling.
my peace of mind, can you make the thing a thicker line? Like I just want it to be more
Yeah.
because it's the monolith. It's so important. Yeah.
And how are we feeling about this?
That's perfect. That makes
like
me
it.
feel happy.
Yeah. that's
Okay. I'm sorry that the other one was making you feel distressed and
It
unhappy.
made me feel so distressed.
Deeply hated the other one.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Okay, when we have collectively decided what the monolith is, then we have to answer a few questions. What does it look like? We've kind of answered that. It looks like an upside down, like
Right.
raindrop almost.
Mhm.
How does it affect the continent? Well, it is like the continent was built entirely around this thing.
Right. It like powers it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keeps it
do
alive.
Do the people have a name for it?
They gotta.
But it's unknowable, so maybe it's just like I mean, I say it's unknowable. Obviously, it's probably going to have a name.
Yeah, but
flare?
unknowable could influence what
Flare?
What did you say,
Flare is
Candace?
cool.
Ooh,
The flare.
Oh,
I don't
Candace,
think we're
that's
gonna get
good.
better than that.
No,
Yeah,
the
the
flare.
flare. It's
Yeah.
called the flare.
The flare is
Fantastic.
good.
That rules.
Yay.
How do people treat it? I'm imagining this is like this is not necessarily a holy thing, but it's something where it's like, this is one of the most
Reverence.
important things in the galaxy,
Yeah.
if not the
Yeah.
most important thing that we have. It
Mhm.
creates
Yeah.
stars.
It's like I would imagine people are like just overwhelmingly thankful for it. Like it's
Mhm.
Yeah. And then when did it appear?
It's
we
always been
thinking-
here.
Well, there
Right.
you go. I was thinking, was it captured, or are we thinking a bit of a Mass Effect Citadel type? Like, it's beyond
found
us.
it
It was
here.
built so
Yeah.
long ago that
Oh,
we
yeah.
found it and the space
Mhm.
station around it.
We
And then
found
people
it
just
and then
kinda-
built around it.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
were, okay, sick. So it was just kind of floating through space and create. We can imagine creating stars,
Mhm.
yeah.
and then we were like, "Oh, this is what does it." And then we all kind of settled around because stars
Yeah.
kept appearing and we didn't know where from.
Right.
Oh my god, that's so
I feel
cool.
like it's one of those where like we like the reverence is such that we don't lay claim to it. It's its own thing. We just like
Yeah.
want to be around
Yeah.
it, man.
Yeah, I wanna
Yeah.
Oh, there are definitely like a lot of people who feel that kind of way. Like, don't disturb it. Like we should just Yeah, I
Uh-huh,
think like
Uh-huh.
I think that's a big subset of people are so naturalistic about it.
Mhm.
Love.
That's really cool.
Hell yeah. Okay, so once we've finished describing the monolith, draw it where it is on the map, and we've drawn it in the dead center since the space station was built completely around this thing. Now, each of us are going to roll a d4, and then this is going to be our wizard's house. There is one of 4 like living situations, and then when we build where our lizard is going to be staying,
Our lizard, our
uh,
lizard,
our lizard,
our lizard.
is staying, and then we're going to see how our wizards know each other. So, Haley, do you want to roll us a d4 to talk about your lizard?
I guess.
3.
Fantastic. So that's a luxury. You have a luxury house.
Yeah, obviously. Of course I do.
Obviously. Candace, do you want to roll your d4?
1. Cozy.
Hell yeah.
Do we want to say what abilities these things
So
grant us?
there is an optional rule that I don't think we'll be doing today, just because of the digital of it all. Which is it's good to bring up though.
Oh, okay.
So there are optional rules about the wizard house which give you a certain ability based on what type of living situation your wizard is in. Cozy is because normally we're building one tower straight up using all of the polyhedrals. The cozy wizard living in a cozy house can split their tower into 2 at any point, so it makes it a little easier and less likely to topple over. Number 2 is utilitarian, which is when you roll a room prompt, you can pick one higher, one lower, so you can just kind of determine more what your prompt is. The luxury, which is you can build several of the same room using the same dice over and over again. And then number 4 is squalid, which you can only use a d6, but it is more secure. The game will always end when 7 dice have been stacked, or if 2 towers have fallen over. Again, for this particular test, I don't think we'll be using this since it's a little, it's a lot to kind of manage, and with just the one set of polyhedrals, it'd be a little harder.
Can I push back on that? Because I think
Do you want to?
I think we can do it. I mean,
Okay, hell yeah.
if people were using the digital like non-physical dice, I would say yes. But people are all using physical dice, so I feel like we could do it.
Sure. Hey.
If
Okay,
you're not
okay.
happy with
And
that,
these
Robin, you can tell me no, and we can cut this.
No. Hey, listen, I'm more than happy. Let's do it.
Okay.
Okay then. So, Haley, you have a luxury house, which means you can build the same room over and over again if you wanted, or several of the same room. You're using that dice. So, for example, if you used a d20 for one room, you can just use another d20. This will make your building a little more unstable, but you can just keep rolling same prompts over and over again. Candace, you have a cozy tower, which means that you can at any point create a second tower somewhere else, which means you won't be built as high, but you'll be a little more stable. Millie, do you want to roll me a d4?
Yes, I rolled a 2.
Fantastic. That's utilitarian. So after you roll, you'll be using the same set, so a 7 polyhedral, but you can pick your prompt being one higher, one lower than where you are. So if you're like, actually, I want this makes more sense for me, are you going to do that? I'll be rolling next. I also rolled a 1, so I also have a cozy little house. And then Dillin?
I also got a 3 for luxury.
Fantastic. Okay. Now we all have where our wizards live. Does anyone immediately have any ideas of who they're thinking they want their wizard to be? We'll be answering questions of how all of our wizards know each other, so we'll build it out a little more post this. But I'm wondering if anyone has anything jumping out at them.
Vague idea for luxury wizard. I'm immediately thinking like prep school brat, wizard that was like raised to be a wizard, like went to sci-fi wizard academy, like from a very young age, like has just been known nothing else but being wizard.
Love it. Fantastic. I'm thinking because of cozy, that to me reads like natural magic. Whereas before it's like, this is a very sci-fi setting, and if I was to roll like utilitarian or something, I would have picked more of like I'm a scientist, but I call this magic. This, I think, like, this is actual magic that I have. I'm thinking I'm very much, you know what, since we're all being different species, I'm a Jim Henson ass puppet. I'm a Dark Crystal kind of magic guy. Yeah. Oh my god, my dream to be a Skeksis.
Yeah,
But
you
I
can do
will-
it. Through the power of Rise Wizards, you can live your dreams.
And you know what? No one said that cozy had to be good. Yeah, I'm a Skeksis. I have a cozy little house, but I'm an evil little guy. I'm a weird. I'm a little bird thing. Anyone else have any ideas for wizards?
Okay. No. I've been
Fantastic.
watching a lot of Rick and Morty this past weekend and Snowden.
Good.
And as a utilitarian wizard, I like the idea that my magic is just being so good at science, it's fundamentally indistinguishable from magic. And also my job is like, okay, while the people are out like having fun and shit, I'm keeping this shit running. Like I'm doing the research that just keeps this place operational because we have like wizards from all over the goddamn known universe coming here and shooting spells and fucking up shit and praying to the thing, studying the thing, all doing all their like undergrad research while, you know, their TA is trying to like rein them in except their magic. That's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Candace, do you have an idea for your wizards? You don't have to yet, by the way. You're welcome to change. You're
think my
welcome to like
wizard-
answer the next questions and then
Yeah.
think of a guy.
Yeah, I think right now, my wizard is very much like an ex-employee of like the utilitarian division, like used to be
Oh,
like a
fun.
hard badass scientist,
Fun.
and then
Yeah.
like realized that the plants have a language, man. And now it like kind of fosters their own inner magic and their understanding of this world through more esoteric means.
I love that.
Yeah, I
Like-
feel like that's like
Yeah.
has a lab coat, but it's like
Yeah.
stained with different flowers and chlorophylls and all kinds of stuff that it
Yeah.
looks tie-dye, and their hair is like really grown out.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like you started being a real scientist and you're like, oh wait, no, magic is real.
Oh,
magic.
cool.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I can do
Hell
whatever the
yeah.
fuck I want. All right, let's get stoned, guys. What's up? Talk to me, plants.
Hell
What
yeah.
do you need out of this space station? Why do you like the flare? Talk to me. Mhm.
Fantastic. Haley, we have an idea?
Yeah, I think I'm going to take luxurious to mean just completely ungrounded in fundamental necessities. I'm picturing like inverted glass pyramid tower sort of like things
Hell
that
yeah.
don't need to be made and don't need to be done. It's like experimental nonsense magic. That's what I'm doing.
Love that.
Okay.
I'm
cool.
making
Hell yeah.
potions.
I get it. I get it.
Aces. Okay, so now, after you've picked what your wizard house is, turn to the wizard on your left. So we're going to use the handy little chart that Millie made.
I'm writing a lot of useful stuff on here.
Yeah, very much so. You can either just ask one of the 12 questions, one of them, to the wizard on your left, or you can roll a d12, to determine how you know them. We'll start with Haley. So Haley will be asking a question to, it would be me, apparently.
Yeah, I was
'cause
going to
it's-
say, are you the
yeah.
wizard on my
Yeah.
left?
Yeah, I'll be the wizard on your left.
Okay, I go to roll about it. Because that's how games work.
That's how game works.
Got 7. Your wizards have only heard of each other. Why are you still competing?
Well, so your magic, you said that you're doing nothing,
Absolutely nothing that nobody needs. Yeah.
nothing that nobody needs. I think I'm so mad at that. I've only heard of you because people are like, have you seen the inverted glass pyramid tower wizard? And I'm like, I fucking hate that guy. That's not what magic is about.
I'm doing fireworks shows and handing out free cookies, and
You're too much of a
stealing.
showman, and I can't stand it.
Oh my god. Yeah.
So I'm directly competing to prove that you're wrong and magic actually has a purpose, I guess.
I don't think we're competing.
Yeah, you have no idea I
in your
exist.
perspective, it's
I'm
not happening.
furious about it. To round off your character, Candace, would you like to roll on the table or pick one and then ask Haley a question?
I will roll on the table. 11. Your wizards share a dark secret. Who can't talk about it?
I feel like our dark secret would just be some sort of drugs.
Probably,
I think it wouldn't be a sci-fi game if we didn't have
No.
euphemism for drug.
I feel like if that's the case, you probably can't talk about it because you're luxurious
Yeah,
and frivolous, and it would
ruin
fuck
my
up your
public
chances.
image a little bit.
Yeah, but my
Yeah.
character is like, drugs are a natural part of the life cycle, man. It's
Yeah.
how you get to the next level.
Yeah.
Do we have a sci-fi fictional drug name?
God.
I like it to be something stupid, like Riverdale has Jingle Jangle, which is their stupid ass drug.
So stupid.
What's that
Riverdale-
one show that had Giggle Pig?
Oh,
my
it's
God,
99 has
we
Giggle
have
Pigs.
to stop them.
It has to be something stupid like that.
Twinkle Toes.
Twinkle Toes is
Twinkle
fun.
It makes you feel dancy.
Oh.
And
Twinkle
because it's
Toes, it
it's
is.
also space and stars and
There you
twinkling
go.
Yeah,
and
Twinkle is
Toes.
in there.
You guys are
Yeah.
getting me.
Yeah.
Gets you all light on your feet.
Yeah. Thanks,
love
y'all.
it. Love it. Millie, roll D12 for us.
Sorry, I was busy. I rolled a 2. That is your wizards. Who am I asking this
You're
to?
with Candace now, so you're asking this to Candace.
Okay, our wizards got in a dangerous duel. Who left changed? Maybe this duel was before you went
Yeah,
on your
for
like
sure.
peace journey.
For sure. I
Hell
left
yeah.
changed 1,000%.
Yeah.
Hell
I
yeah.
really admire you for wanting to be like the best of the best. And I think
Yeah.
my character is like, you know how to be the best of the best by removing yourself from the equation and just being the best over here.
Yeah, and I said, yeah, or you can just win.
Yeah.
And then
Yes.
you two fought each other in a deadly duel.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think my character is probably like, I have other things to do, man. Violence is not the
Yeah.
answer.
Mm. Do you think, Candace, you left, like, leaving changed, quote unquote? It was you, like, leaving the, I don't want to say company, but the, like, more science division? Do you think that's what the
'cause
changed was?
Yeah, I feel like the ambition that Ames's character has is like about the advancement, and my
Mhm.
character fancies themselves to be more about like the nature, the flora, and the fauna of it all.
Cool.
Sure.
Cool.
Yeah.
Love that. Love that for real. Dillin, would you like to ask Millie a question?
Oh, it's Millie. Okay. Let me roll for it. Your wizards are related. Who doesn't know that?
Okay.
Okay.
This is luxury
Um,
utilitarian, yeah.
Wait, what was that?
This is the luxury and utilitarian are your two.
Can you remind me your wizard's
is-
vibes?
My
You're,
my
like-
wizard is luxury. My wizard is a prep school brat, like raised to be a wizard and went to the wizard college very early entry, like
Oh,
full ride scholarship, blah blah blah.
I absolutely know we're related, and it's like a two roads diverge situation where I
Yeah.
think like either you had like you were like from a wealthier part of the family, like you know,
Yeah.
we're like two siblings, one who married a lot better than the other. I think we probably had pretty similar like higher education experiences, but like I think you're too much in your own world to pay attention, and you're like, well, I could never be related to a poor, and I'm like,
yeah,
I'm upper middle class.
yeah,
Like I
exactly
can max
like I
out my
said.
401k. Like I'm actually rich. Like I'm doing well for myself.
Oh, and of course you are. Yeah.
And I think I probably have in my official capacity, like I think our parents, I have to like bail you out of things and you do not know.
Yeah. Oh, and that's evil of them, but things just sort of work out for me. So, so that's nice.
Fantastic. Okay, and then Dillin, I'm about to ask you a question.
Great.
I got a 9. Your wizards met one summer and haven't seen each other since. Who still thinks of whom?
And remind me your wizard's vibe again.
I'm a Skeksis.
Freaky little bird.
I want to say that I want to say that I think of you because I think that we met one summer, but I think that you were like just a helpful creature that came to me in a time of need. And I don't really
Sure.
I don't really like recognize that you're like a full-blown wizard. I was just like, "Oh, this
Full-blown Skeksis.
yeah. This nice
Hell yeah.
creature came to my aid, and I
How
at
did
just
they
the
come
right
to your
time.
aid? Do we think it was like a big serious you were going to die aid, or was it like a real simple you were getting picked on by the
It
richer
was
kids?
extremely serious. It was I did not have an outfit for the banquet for inauguration into wizard grad school. And that was it was going to be an absolute disaster, and you showed up at just the right time, and you happened to have a solution for me, which was
I think it's so simple that it's I don't remember it because I was like, just pick the one on the left. It's fine. You look fine.
and I was like,
I'm walking past in like a tattered old robe that is handed down through generations.
It was like, wise omen. And, and ever since I've been like,
Okay,
what?
we didn't meet. I walked past you because you were trying to decide, and you saw my red cloak and were like, "Oh, red would look nice." Actually.
Yeah. And
You think about me and my
and I
weird-
just think of you all the time, and I was like, if I need them again, there they'll be.
Fantastic. Okay, now we're going to start placing our little wizard towers on the board. Everyone can draw on the map. If you're playing this physically, you would place inside of the confines of the map where we think our wizard towers will be. Everyone will draw.
I'm gonna be like right up far north is where I think.
Oh, cool.
I feel like for some reason far north is feeling like the epitome of wealth for some reason. I don't really have an explanation for that, but it's what I'm going with.
I want mine to be next to Robin's. I want to bother this little bird.
Okay. Okay, well, let's go. Yeah, let's go over to the. We'll go to the far
Is there
to the
any
far right
mechanical
edges.
strategy I should be aware of for where I'm building my tower?
Absolutely not. It's purely for world building.
Okay, cool.
I forgot to
bases.
make mine a little pyramid.
Oh right,
Oh, very good.
you're correct. Actually, I also forgot that.
Yeah, you got to make it look fancy. Come on now.
Yeah, y'all are fancy. Candace, where are we thinking for your tower?
I think I'm gonna go down south.
Nice. I like
Nice.
it.
That's terrible looking. Get out of here.
It's hard to draw with the mouse.
Erase.
It's hard to draw with that mouse. That's real.
It just
That
let
one-
me erase the outside. Oh my god.
Just Control Z.
That was
Yeah, it's
terrifying.
fine.
Oh my gosh.
It's okay. We've drawn
I don't know
so
why I
much
did that. I
around the
didn't like
outside
it.
of it,
I made it so
That,
big for no reason.
we would know where the outline was if it was gone.
Yeah, the outline of the
Sure.
space station is kind of
Yeah,
just
luckily
wherever
it's been-
the drawings aren't. They're being
Yeah.
held in like a bubble.
By a lot of very necessary and mood setting.
Yeah, I've
Drawing.
been taking notes.
You have been taking notes. I will say that about Mills. Mills has been effectively taking notes.
Been taking a lot of notes.
I have not
So-
been doing that.
So whenever we there are two things that we do on our turn. We pick a room, and when we place that room underneath our house, because our house is a D4, so you can't place it on top of it. We're going to answer a horizon question, which is a new thing that our wizard sees on the horizon. Because we've all just placed dice down, that means that we have our first horizon question, which is, where is your wizard house? In a village, woodland, cliffside. Draw the immediate surrounding area.
Wait,
So we'll start with Haley, and then we'll go in that same turn order, and we're just gonna kind of describe the immediate surrounding area, and then draw a little bit. Now, in terms of like language on drawing, surrounding area is kind of nebulous. Go, Millie.
What die am I supposed to put down for my tower?
A D4 is
Okay.
is always your tower.
Gotcha.
The one that you rolled to see what
Yeah,
kind.
you rolled the room, and then
Got
that is the room
it.
that you're using.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So I drew it well. That's the top of my tower.
Yeah,
it's actually
I
really
see
good.
it.
Yeah, you kind of
Um,
crushed
I
that.
see it.
Kind of crushed it. So Haley, where is it that you live? What's in the immediate surrounding area?
Well, I live way over, on the far east side of the space station. I figured it out, don't worry. That's the east side of the space station, where there's a lot of nice, big, open kind of. It's less crowded over here. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of room for upward expansion, which is really good because you need to get tall if you're going to do fireworks and also potions. So I think at least like to the area somewhat around, it's pretty empty, and I think it goes up really high. Maybe it's like you can see through on the top to see the stars and the universe and the
beautiful.
whatnot. Skylights. That's what I
I
was
like it.
thinking of. I don't know how to draw any of that. I just said there was nothing.
Yeah, no, I like it. I like it. There's nothing there, and that also kind of fits with I wanted my little
Mhm.
Skeksis to be in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, perfect.
like,
and then I
truly
set
just
up
like-
right next to you.
Yeah, truly, just like I'm picturing around specifically me, so it will be us, I guess. Is just mechanics and like whirrings of engines, and like we can kind of see the guts of the space shuttle here, and
Yeah.
no one wants to move. Candace, where is your wizard set up? What's the immediate surrounding area?
My wizard is set up in the southern quadrant of this area of the space station. And they are surrounded by plant life. In fact, my wizard is
Cool.
a person made of like organic materials. Like I think they have like bark-like skin.
Cool.
And since accepting like the inherent magic in this world and the inherent magic in nature, they've started to kind of sprout. So they have like mosses kind of growing on their face and on their body. Their hair is kind of mossy, and looks sort of like little Afro puffs, sort of like little mossy Afro
love
puffs.
that. That's cute.
And I think she's very she wears like what looks like the same kind of lab coat that I think Ames's character might have. I'm not sure if your character wears a lab coat or not.
I do now.
Yeah. But I think
Easy.
it's like torn, so it looks almost like a shawl, but it's a lab coat.
Oh, cool. Love that.
Thank you. Lots of greenery.
Yeah.
Cute. Millie, what's your surrounding area look like?
So as you can see, I'm pretty close up to the what is it? What do we call it? The flare. And I think like where I live is probably right outside of like a restricted area where if you go in, you have to have business there. It's not like no one can get to it, but it's like, hey, you're super flared up, man. Like you can't bad things happen if you're there too long. I think I've probably gotten a lot of like radiation exposure, so that's made me more normal and more powerful, I think.
Yeah, it's way more normal, actually. I think it's good.
Yeah, so I think around me is mostly like a lot of research areas, and like
Cool.
this is where all the setup is for some of the what's it called, administration, but less of the like people management administration and more of the monolith management administration, you know?
Cool. Yeah.
So there's a
sick.
lot of, don't worry, I'll get on to drawing it.
Yeah. Dillin, what's your immediate surrounding area?
It's like a big metropolis that
Sick.
my wizard is like building her tower in. Oh, I've decided she is a classic sci-fi trope of just like person but pink. Like human person in
Hell yeah.
basically every
love
other
Mass
way,
Effect.
but she's pink and maybe she has like an extra eye in the middle of her
Cool.
forehead or something like that, I think.
Yeah.
Otherwise, she looks like your average human being. And so she's building her tower in like the central area of like the biggest city. So I'm just like sort of putting some buildings here in the background there. I did not mean to grab that. Oh my god.
That's
Oh my
cool.
God.
So again, similar to Haley, I think we are in like the outreaches, the like currently being built part of the space station. I'm thinking the Skeksis people, like I'm like 4 foot, but it's because I'm so hunched over. I think our little people are born old. We are kind of born old,
Like
hunched
Benjamin
over.
Button.
Yeah.
So like we all have Benjamin Button disease is the thing. Which unfortunately does mean that I'm a very young man. Since my little Skeksis body looks so old. I think I'm about 4 foot, but because I'm so hunched over. However, if I like raise up to my full foot, I'm a good like
I just
6 or
lost the
7.
border, BT dubs. Sorry.
Thank
Sorry
you.
to interrupt.
Huge. Love that. No, you're perfect. I also think we're all like, we're very, to not cross over too much with Candace's like very natural thing, I think we are all very like steampunk clockwork based. So I think my little house is in between 2 gears that are constantly turning my house as the space station kind of like gyroscope like steadies itself. It also spins me around. So every day I'm looking at a different part of the world. There was a particularly bad year where I had to look directly at Haley's wizard for a full year since everything was facing it, and it sucked and I hated it. And that's kind of where I made this hatred of them. Fantastic. Okay, so now we're on to the bulk of the game. Starting again with Haley. Each of us are going to be able to pick a room. The rooms are a library, an alchemy lab, an arcane testing ground, greenhouse, a forbidden section, and an observatory. Each of them have a different way of interacting and creating lore within this world, in this space station. And also, each of them correspond to a different dice. So a library is a D6, alchemy lab is a D8, arcane testing ground is a D10, so on and so on. We can pick any one of these to start. We're going to roll the dice. That's going to correspond with a prompt. Answer the prompt. And then we're going to move the dice. We're going to build our little tower up. And then answer the horizon question. The thing that our wizard sees whilst they're building this new room. Haley, what dice would you like to go with first?
So many choices.
You can
I
truly
also-
just... Go
I
on, Millie.
forgot to say what my wizard looked like. Since I'm related to Dillin and Dillin is like human but pink,
yeah.
I'm going to stay in the genre and looks like an elf for some reason.
Yes. Okay. Hell yeah.
I've got a long white beard and a pointed blue hat with gold stars on it. So that's
Perfect. Classic.
I'm a wizard, baby.
You are a wizard. Classic, normal
but then like
wizard.
a spacesuit.
Oh, like a big white spacesuit like we have in real
Yeah.
life?
Yeah.
Good.
Because I'm
Yeah.
a space
Is
wizard.
the hat on top of the
Space
spacesuit or underneath
I don't
the
wear a
spacesuit?
helmet. I'm inside and I need people to see my good face and beard.
Real.
It would be a shame.
What room would you like to build, Hale?
Looking at them. I can pick any of them.
You can pick any of them.
Yeah.
Ooh. I would like an arcane testing ground.
Fantastic. So that's a D10. So take your D10 and roll it.
Got a 1.
That is elemental. You create an area of land that has the same weather conditions forever. What is it? How does it affect the surrounding land? And then draw it on the map.
Oh my gosh, you're going to love this. It's going to be our little area. It's amazing. It's going to be a crisp 67 degrees.
Good.
with a light breeze all the time. I have figured it out. We're going to do perfect weather, entirely localized in our little area. Your mood is going to improve like crazy. I can feel it.
Love it.
I've decided I need you to like me now.
It's made like a nice little, I'm imagining it's made a nice little like vacation zone for people.
Yeah,
like if they're
people love visiting.
People love visiting the outreaches because they're
come
like,
to visit me. And also,
the wizard made it
there.
so temperature controlled here. It's actually so nice.
It's so you'll never need to go planet side again. Everyone can just come hang out with me in my
if you
cool
love the
corner.
temperature 67, it's perfect.
Oh
the
my
best
God.
temperature.
6, 7.
Nice.
6, 7.
You did this.
I didn't mean it.
Okay, Haley. So now place your D10 underneath your D4. Pick it up and place it.
I've done so.
Fantastic. And now, whilst your wizard is building, has built this one extra room, your wizard sees a village. Who lives there? Draw the village on a map or add to an existing village.
There's no pre-existing village.
There's no
yes.
pre-existing at the minute, no.
Okay.
Right. If
Then
there
there's
was
technically a metropolis. It's like you can kind of add to a zone, yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna. What is this? E equals MC squared.
It's where the science happens.
You're right. I'm so sorry. I guess slightly south of where the science happens. Then.
Yeah.
Sick.
There's like a little collection of ramshackle living quarters made by like devoted religious followers of the flare.
Ooh,
And they have to
cool.
they had to build it very quickly and kind of blend in because of all the science going on.
Yeah,
And they don't really want to be displaced.
Perfect.
I like to think that at first I was annoyed, but it turns out the weird cult people do keep to themselves and they clean
Yeah.
up. Yeah, exactly.
Amazing. Candace, what room would you like to build?
I think I want an observatory.
Oh, I love it. Perfect. D100. So an observatory is all about talking to the other wizards around the table, whereas the Arcane Testing Lab that Haley built was all about adding drawing onto the map. Fantastic. So roll us the roll the D100. It's just like rolling the D10. You just roll the double numbered side.
Okay. 6.
Galaxy. You see another planet. You see an exact copy of you looking back. Everything on their planet is exactly the same except for one thing. What wizard do you tell about this discovery, and what is different about their planet? Why are they doomed because of it? So, because of this setting, we can either be another space station, you could be looking into a different universe. It's truly down to you. And
Wow,
also you have to
that's
pick a wizard around the table of the wizards that you know. Not of the wizards, of the wizards around the table for who you reach out to help you with this, and then both of you will build this out together.
Cool.
I feel like this is a situation where like the science really matters. And so my wizard would put down the old score and reach out to Ames's wizard.
Fantastic.
To inform you of this like rogue other space station that's exactly like ours in every way, except The other rogue space station doesn't have a flare. They have like an ice crystal.
Ooh, and that's way off in the distance.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
Cool.
But there's like a me and a you and an all of us.
Wow.
And
so
there
cool.
is. Thanks for that.
So, like, what are you going to do about it, man? You've got, like, all the skills and all the buttons and all the weapons and the clearance. Are you going to save these people?
Save the ice people?
I mean, you'd want them to do that for us if we were going to die, right?
Yeah, I suppose we can see if. Well, there is a process that has to be followed, you know.
Sure.
So
Rules, man.
I can put it to the council and give them my recommendation, and then see if we can send dispatch. I mean, most of the crew here is, you know, native to this station, so we would have to get people to agree to take non-essential people from here to go out on an expedition. However, it is in the best interest, I think, in preserving the knowledge, so perhaps that could sway and we could maybe sweeten the deal for them if they do that.
I'd hope so, and I agree with you, man, but I just gotta say, everybody's essential, friend. All of us in this life,
so this is
we're
it's less
all
about
essential.
Yeah, no, I understand. It's just not everyone is needed right here to keep this station functioning all of the time. The people who work here are essential to this, but everyone else who goes and does other things, they can continue to do those other things.
Yeah, I mean, but like if Sarah weren't there to make my sandwiches, or if like Frank weren't there to greet me every morning, or like, I don't know, Traco wasn't there to like listen to me talk about the things that are stressing me out on any given day, like that feels essential.
No, they are, and to be clear, none of the people who work in the mess hall are going to go on that expedition, no matter how
okay,
it
cool.
goes. Like they'll probably have a couple. Yeah, that's usually an all hands on deck situation.
I agree. It's important.
So yeah, all of the essential people have to. That's what I was getting at. The essential people need to stay here, and the people who are not essential to running this, but perhaps are essential to rescue missions, they can go be essential over there.
Yeah, okay, I guess that's fair.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do. Thank you for. I do appreciate genuinely you bringing this to our attention. Though.
Yeah, it's a good thing I came over here. I was gonna try and handle it by myself, but I feel like
And
maybe...
I'm glad you didn't do that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I wouldn't have wanted to send anybody, but, you know, you're so level-headed. It's great.
It's my whole thing.
You get finger guns back.
Kiss.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. Wait.
Fantastic. Candace, place your D100 underneath your D4. When you do,
Done.
your wizard sees a village. Who lives there? You can add to an existing village, or you can make your own.
I think I see a little village that is largely made up of aquatic creatures that can live out of the water.
Oh, cool.
Cool.
That's cool.
Damn.
But
Yeah.
then I like the idea. You're like, oh, so like amphibians, and they're like, no,
Correct.
we are aquatic.
Correct. They are aquatic that may also live outside of the water. Yes. Thank you for asking.
Bless you, Hales. Fantastic. Draw a little village on the map. Millie, what room would you like to build?
Okay, so here's the thing. There's one part of me that's like, well, I know I'm going to have to build a sturdy tower. Let me be wise in doing that. And then I see that the forbidden section's a D20. So maybe I just start, like,
Maybe you just start doing a forbidden section.
Yeah,
Yeah.
is there any reason why I would want to postpone adding things to my tower?
No, not necessarily.
For
So-
sturdiness of your tower is kind of
Sturdiness of your tower is the main thing.
That
but,
is kind
I
of the
mean,
consideration.
When we, on a playtest, speaking of Vidi, which we've already mentioned, Vidi exclusively used forbidden sections for every single role and was, I think, the only survivor of that game.
I think so too. Yeah.
So it's just a skill issue.
Well, if
really.
it's good enough for Viddy, it's good enough for me.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Wait, we can die?
Your
Yeah.
tower falls down.
Yeah, your tower falls down, you die.
Oh, got it. Okay. So I roll this d20.
Roll the d20.
I rolled a 9.
That
my lucky number.
is lost. You find a map to a location of something lost. Why is it better that it stays hidden?
Ooh, okay. Easy. I find a map to the potential, like, a location of another flare. However, it is incredibly far away. It is dangerous to navigate to, either in physical space, which would take an inordinately long amount of time, or in hyperspace. And alongside this map is, like, basically it was a expedition journey. It's one of those journeys where there were no survivors, but we still somehow have information from it. It was transmitted back. It would be incredibly dangerous. It is volatile. There's a promise of, like, ooh, fun ancient magic. And I know all these bitches. They're all a bunch of fucking wizards. If I say, hey, there's magic that's going to kill you and make everything worse, it's going to be like a Last of Us situation. If you try and bring it back here, it's going to corrupt everything. They're going to be like, no, I want it. I'd be different. Let's go get it and fix it. And I decided, can I keep this knowledge hidden forever? No, I can't bring myself to destroy the map. It doesn't have to be a problem in my lifetime, though. And that's where I've landed.
Horrible.
Fantastic. Pick up your D4 wizard house and then place it on top of your D20.
Okay, great. It's like it has a hat.
It's like got a little hat. When you do that, your wizard sees a village. What's the village that you see?
The village I see, let's see. It is, I want to put something right next to the cult village.
Yeah.
And it's a village of concerned moms who are worried about the cult. Instead of having square houses with triangle tops, they have circle houses with rectangular tops.
Oh, I like that they all moved in
Yes.
together to be worried.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's
just in case.
their kids have mostly left the nest by now.
Yeah.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
some of them are single. Some of them just don't really want to live with their partners for whatever reason. There also are a lot of people, like, people travel here too. So some of them might be like eat, pray, loving through the galaxy.
Yeah.
Find themselves in a concerned mom group about this cult. They only stay here when they're on the space station, though. It's like a network.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Dillin, what room do you want to build?
I want to build an observatory as well.
Love it. Roll it
So
for me.
I want to see my kingdom. That is a 0-0 quasar. You see the center of the universe. Who has to help you get to the center? What do you find? Of course I see the center of the universe. Obviously. So I think I need Ro, does your wizard have a name yet?
Clang. We're all named
Clang.
after it's like steampunky sounds.
My name is Rebecca, and as someone older, I think that you should want to help me because you want to gain the experience that you need to become the best, whatever it is that you are.
Oh,
Yeah.
sure. Younger, they always say. They see me and they're like, you must be old. You've lost all your feathers and you're a little crow. I'll have you know, I am 23. Quite a
Wow.
young. I'm quite a young little. Oh, I don't know. I can't just call this Skeksis. I'm quite a young little bird.
No, you can be a Skeksis. We could cross universes.
I'm quite a young Skeksis, thank you.
Okay, well, so as my escort, I would like you to help me. We're going straight there. Do you see that burning bit? To the north west. To the northwest. That burning bit right over there.
The burning bit? The center of the universe?
Well, it's strange, but you can only see it from this spot right here. Now come and stand. And when Rebecca moves you to this like part in her observatory where she set up a telescope that is super fancy, there is one exact spot where you can see like a like swirling black nothingness that has accumulated in one very, very minute spot that only this telescope can see. And she is like, we gotta go there. When when we go there, around it are like frozen in time kind of bits of like magical spell remnants that people have tried to cast on this thing. Meaning that
sure.
like people have tried before but have not been able to manipulate this literal black hole of everything. And she's like, okay, so all of these people have failed. We won't, though. We'll just have to be back, and we'll figure it out.
Okay. No, I think I know a way which we can get in and out.
Oh, sure. Do you?
And I think I think I'm going with the Skeksis have just like a bunch of junk sci-fi. So it's a literal catapult that catapults like we are in like a ball chamber and we catapult ourselves into the center of the universe, and then it's like easy to assemble in the center of the universe like elsewhere. So we're able to catapult ourselves back as well. Because a lot of the trouble with a lot of building rockets and things is having enough like fuel to fly there and back, but us Skeksis don't have that problem. We physically catapult ourselves to the point which we need because of and we also have like perfect eyes and senses for doing that.
Wow. Everything always works out. Great.
And then we find a bunch of spell remnants. Are we thinking like components to make spells?
Components like
people
that
have
are
tried to
literally
cast
like
things
frozen
here
into
and then have fizzled.
fossils. They're
Cool.
like fossilized now around the
Oh, I love it.
the mouth of this thing.
Yeah, that's really cool. Hell yeah. Put your D100 underneath your D4.
Did it. Done.
Give me a village.
Oh, a village, right.
Yeah.
There is directly to the south of the center of the universe. So on far west dead center underneath this thing. There is a village of, I think, people who have sworn off magic of all types. There are
cool.
a group of people who are like just kind of don't want to mess with it, and are living definitely like a very bordered off existence. I want to say that they have built like fortifications to make sure that like the cities don't ruin their way of life. But they ultimately like just kind of do their own thing, and they just don't want anything to do with magic. So they have just
Love
kind
that.
of created this little place where magic is not
Fantastic.
bothering them.
I love it. To be a little different, I'm gonna make an alchemy lab. Roll a little D8. Having interactions with people. I roll 1, so I roll poison. Your tower is approached by an assassin, and you make them a poison using a strange plant. What do you want, and what do you make? What do they want, and what do you make? I'm thinking this cult is getting big.
Mm-hmm.
This like religious fanaticism about the flare is making it so and people are just getting kicked up into a fervor, and I maybe, Candace, with your consent, maybe this like talks, because everyone in the like quote unquote scientific community have been talking about how there's like a copy of us on a different space station somewhere, and that has kind of kicked it up that like, oh, the flare is like we have to protect our flare, and we have to protect this perfect existence and this thing that makes stars. And with the village of mothers being built, who are now trying to stop the cult, I think a member of the cult came and was like, I need to assassinate someone who is poking a little too close to us and trying to get us to stop.
Oh my god.
So I make them a little maybe not even a poison, but a maybe it's like grime on the gears. I make like a really fast acting poison with it that someone takes on a knife, and they assassinate someone of the mothers. And then the village I go out into town, and I see all of it. I see the ramifications of this assassination, and then when I come back, I see people having made a little village next to my fucking house because the weather is so perfect here.
Yeah.
I'm getting.
Oh my god!
It's just a suburban. It's a suburban little place, and they can make it really fast because this is sci-fi world. So they made like it's like one of those tents that you throw and they immediately pop into a perfect tent. It's like
I
that,
was
but
imagining like Lego building where they go.
yeah,
And then
it's that. And it's all around me.
Yeah.
Now people have built this beautiful house all around me.
Isn't this great? We have a neighbor.
No. Haley, it is you. What's a room that you would like to build? Remember, you are luxury, so you can build the same room again if you'd like.
I could. I just keep building testing grounds forever,
Yeah.
which could be fun.
It could be fun. You just keep drawing things on the map.
And that is fun. I'm just making sure there's nothing else I would prefer to be doing.
Am I allowed to touch my tower after I build it?
You can, yeah.
Okay.
Don't knock it over, though.
If it
You'll
falls
die.
at literally any point, then we have to deal with the ramifications of that.
Yeah.
But yes.
Which is so
I'm not gonna do
scary.
that.
I famously am really bad at keeping towers vertical. I tried
Well,
to do
that's
a
going to be
Jenga
very exciting
once.
a little later on.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Haley's 1 for 2 with Jenga.
Yeah.
I've done a
And-
really bad Jenga. I should do at least one forbidden.
tower game.
You're
You wanna
so
do a
right.
forbidden?
I'm so sorry. My generic
Block
tumbling
tower.
block tower game. I should at least do one forbidden before my.
You want to do a
tower is gone
forbidden?
forever.
Roll me a forbidden. Roll me a Secrets of the World, which is the forbidden section.
15.
15. This is personal.
Personal.
You find a fountain that makes you relive your life. You relive something that you've never recovered from. What is it? Why does it still haunt you?
I was not planning on giving this wizard trauma.
Yeah. Oopsie.
I sort of just built a little showman that I didn't.
Yeah,
expand
flesh out
upon.
this wizard.
Yeah, we're gonna build you into Gandalf one way or another.
You know? It's the twinkle toes. It was the
Oh.
it was the ego death. And it was, I'd spent my whole life kind of just skating through it
Uh-huh.
and just letting it pass me by. I was very Fiero Tegalar about it, if you will.
I don't believe he has a last name.
Tegalar, thank you. He's a prince. Yeah. And then me and Stoner Wizard down south there did some twinkle toes together because I thought it'd be fun. And instead, it was one of those types of trips where I spent like 12 years as an inanimate object, except it was like 12 years as a mirror of myself.
Yeah.
And I spent those 12 years like just seeing how empty and lifeless my life was.
Mm.
And then as soon as it was over, I pushed it all into a little teeny tiny box. And I said, we're not going to think about that. I have potions to make.
Let it make you better, man.
I didn't let it make me better. And now here I am in front of the space fountain. And it's like I'm right back there listening to Stoner Wizard encourage me to improve from this as I'm frantically pretending I never felt these feelings.
Outstanding.
Yeah, and I'm finding my glass house to be it's nothing. It's just transparent. There's nothing to it at all. I'm having a crisis, and I have a show tonight. It's a problem.
Love. So, pick up all of the dice in your tower, and then slide your d20 under it.
My dice demon has been sleeping in the back of the room,
Good.
Oh, good.
so I'm very excited about that.
Might be safe.
Maybe. Oh my god. Oh, I'm not good at this. I'm not good at this at all. Ah! It's not stable, but it's up.
Hey, listen,
Good.
it's up. Your wizard sees a biome that they couldn't see before.
Ooh.
What's the biome that you see?
There is a part of this space station that has overheated. There's like a bit of the energy of the flare that's like
Oh, cool.
been funneled down a particular way, and it's full magma fields.
Whoa, cool.
It's to the north of home, of our little open space home. So there's not really anybody settled over there. It's not like it's causing a problem right now.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
it could
I love that. That's awesome.
spread, which is mildly concerning, I would say.
Draw us the biome.
I don't know how to change the color, and I don't want to draw it in green.
How
do I change my markers
If
color?
you click on your pen, and then along the side there'll be like sizes. If you click on one of the sizes, you can change the color of it. Then.
Oh, you're so smart.
Yeah.
Lava.
Awesome. Candace,
Yes.
what are we building? What's our room?
Maybe I want to build a little. I think I want to build a little library.
Cute.
That feels
Love it.
right.
Roll me a d6 for your cute little library.
1.
You enchant a book with a quieting spell, silencing an area outside your tower. Why?
I silence the angry anti-cult mothers to the northeast.
Wow. Love.
Yes!
Because they're really bringing me down, man. All
Yes,
day,
they're
naysaying. Naysaying all the time instead of letting
are.
people choose what's best for themselves. It's kind of rough.
Totally.
I mean, we all
Wow,
got to
I
leave
love
the
it.
nest sometime.
We've all got to join a cult someday. It might as well be
And
today.
we simply have
We
to.
all
yeah.
have to join a cult.
I'm chill not being in the cult, but I was allowed to make that choice, and so should everyone else.
Love that.
Exactly.
That's so good. Okay, pick up your tower and place your d6 under it. Your wizard, as they're building this tower, sees a biome. What biome do you see?
I'm gonna draw a squiggly line around these ladies for hush. The squiggly line is not very dark, but you can see it.
Oh, you
sort
can
of.
click on the
Yeah.
line and then change the aspects of it. So if you click on
Uh-huh.
that drawing, you should see a little thing pop up.
Willst thou let me click on you?
Well, let me do it if you want to tell me what color you want it to be.
Yeah, any color that looks cool. that represents hush to you.
Hush.
Hush is
Ooh,
an
fun.
ideal. What biome do I see? I think to the east, like the southeast, down in that little area, I feel like I see like a little tundra. Like it looks like it's like an inverted
cool.
area that doesn't
Mhm.
have good exposure to the flare. So it's almost like the opposite of what we see at the other end with the tundra. It's like
Love
a
it.
cold
Yeah, that's
spot.
really cool. That's awesome. Fantastic.
Brr.
As you're drawing that, Millie,
Yeah.
what room do you want to build?
I want to build whatever the D10 is. I've decided.
The arcane testing ground.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Oh,
Mills
hell
is
yeah.
trying to win the wizard game. You
Yeah.
can feel it.
And
I
it's
feel
possible.
I feel like that's
And normal to one.
I feel like that's fair.
Oh, I have a question. When I'm moving my tower, are there rules for what dice I can touch? Can I only touch the lowest die?
No, you can touch all of them if it helps you.
Okay.
If it helps.
I rolled a 0, which is a 10, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Is that
This
blood?
one is blood.
Hey, I love blood.
The arcane in your blood leads you to a hidden ruin of a long-forgotten city. Where is it? What secrets does it hold? Considering you found a map to... You've been told a lot of secrets about
I've
this one.
gotten so
You found
many
a map
secrets.
to another flare. Candace told you about an exact copy of everyone. Your wizard is dripping in secrets right now.
Yeah, and it's funny because my job is just like so day to day, and it's not even like yes, I'm a prideful wizard. Yes, I want to be the best wizard or whatever. But it just kind of keeps falling in my lap, and I'm like, well, no one else is going to do this right. Okay, and of course, I'm incredibly magically irradiated from being near the flare all the goddamn time.
Yeah.
It's in
Yeah.
my blood. Let's see. This secret city. What's this little flame thing over here underneath the chick's lyrics?
That's the lava, the magma fields.
Okay,
Yeah, the
I
magma
think,
fields that have fallen off of the flare.
I think I'm going to hide the city beneath the magma fields.
Oh,
Oh,
cool.
fun.
Sexy.
Let's see. What secrets does it hold? I think we came here and we found the flare and like built a space station around it, essentially. I think the people who lived here, because they didn't have the technology, they were like subterranean in one of the like, the different asteroids and things wherever that the magma fields are on. And I feel like their attempt to try and tap into the magic of the flare is what led the magma to materialize or erupt. I think it's like came from like the energy of the sun. And I think it wiped out their society.
Cool.
Oh.
But so here's the thing. The thing is, people keep reporting things to me. So I think that's how I like. I sensed this energy, and I think someone was like, "Yeah, there's something odd about the magma fields," and then I decided to like go, and I think there's a kind of magic that we have not yet discovered, or that we discovered and has been lost to time. And I think it's connected to the bad flare.
Cool. Love that. Pick up your tower and place your D10 underneath it.
Easy. Yeah, we all have been practicing stacking and moving dice, right? With the dice that aren't in our tower, right?
Yeah.
I practiced earlier. I haven't been practicing since, but I did
Okay.
practice earlier.
We had a scare. We're good.
Good. What biome do you see as you get one tower taller?
What biome?
Yeah. This
I
is your horizon question.
Beneath
What biome?
not beneath, between the magma and the flare. I think because of the magma flows replenishing the soil, it's actually incredibly verdant. And so there's a lot of good fertile grassland for growing crops. And I think I was
Cool.
going to turn it into like a factory farm thing. And then someone convinced me to do, or to recommend. That's the thing is I'm like, oh, I don't have any power here. I just make my recommendations. I think someone convinced me to do a more like natural approach. So it's like working within the soil. It's like a little bit more shepherding the nature rather than just stripping it and like factory farming the entire thing.
Cool. Sick.
It's
Love
up to, anyone could guess who. It could be anyone.
Who can say?
Who can say?
Could possibly say. Dillin,
Me? Not
what
you?
room would you like to build? It's you, then it's me.
Okay. All right, so then I am going to build a library. And if I get my wish, it's going to be libraries all the way down from here. That is
cool.
my plan.
That's your luxury pick.
That's my luxury plan, is that I just have a big, giant library with an observatory at the top.
Love it.
We start with a 6. You find a voice in your library. What does it say? There is a book. It's an old tome that I totally inherited, and I wasn't like super interested in it because it's very dusty and old, and I prefer, newer books in my library. But I did open it one day recently because it was there and it just sort of spoke to me. I realized that its cover was kind of charming. And when I opened it, it said, "Not you." And I was like, wow, that's like so rude. And I was just sort of like, not you either. And so I closed it up and I put it back on the shelf, but I put it in like the way back because I don't really need books to give me that sort of attitude. Yeah. I remember it said like "For the Chosen One" or something like that on like the inside cover. Like there was an engraving on the inside, some kind of nonsense like that. But whatever, if it doesn't want to talk to me, I don't want to talk to it. So
Yeah. And like, you probably are the chosen one, so it's fine.
I
It's
don't
fine.
Maybe
like
just
when
not yet,
it's ready.
though, right? Maybe you have to
Who's-
grow, like you have to get
who's
to a certain age or
chosen
something.
one? Like like who chose? Like it's not like
It's-
there's
yeah.
one chosen one.
Pick up your tower and put your D6 under it.
Done.
Fantastic. What biome do you see
Yeah, in
as your wizard climbs?
basically like in the area surrounding the town that does not like magic at all, and like just on that northern border between that and the center of the universe, there is sort of like a lawless, like wild magic
Hell yeah.
zone where like just
Hell yeah.
magic sort of is just like swirling and like being activated at random without seemingly any sort of direction or cause, and is like a very tumultuous pathway between like the no magic town and the center of the universe swirl, which I will now draw.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I think I want to get someone else involved here. So I'm also going to do an observatory now for my one. That is a 5. You see something on another planet that you need on your planet. Who do you help to get travel to that planet? What is it? I'm thinking that because we're on a space station, maybe because of all the like lava and this like wild magic like zone explosion, there are like a series of breaches in the hull of our space station, and on another planet I see that there's a lot of like metals that we don't have easy access to. But there's also a lot of people there. So in the hopes and dreams of trading with them, I need someone who's good at talking to people. And who isn't, like a scary weird crow lizard thing. I'm gonna go to someone who's like, listen, we have the showman, who I don't like personally, so I don't want to travel for months with them. We have the business person, who I'm like, I don't know how good you are at talking to people.
I got shit to do.
You got shit to do. We have this really weird rich kid that keeps coming up to me and saying, "Oh my God, you're back. Is it my time yet?" And I'm like, I don't know what you mean. I don't think so. But I know that there's one other wizard here who's pretty chill and can probably go speak to someone. So I wander over to Candace and I'm like, okay, so there's things and there's metals. We need those metals to fix the hull of the ship because I see it breaking. But I'm no good at talking to people. Could you help me, please?
Oh, yeah, totally. I have seen
Fantastic.
the damage that you are speaking of, my brother, and I have no problem at all helping you figure out how to retrieve those metals for our people.
Fantastic.
Point me in the direction of the person that needs convincing.
Very good. You just
I keep going,
see what
little
you plane.
Yeah, I keep going, little closer, little closer, until we get onto a catapulted rocket ship and we fly to another planet.
This is pretty far out.
Yes, very. Fantastic. Then I have placed my I have placed my thing under my tower. The biome I see, I think. Ooh, I'm wondering if I want to do something with the breaches in this hull, or if I. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna go weird, and I'm gonna go a little outside of the ship. There's a big breach in the hull next to Quasi Magic Land that Dillin has so aptly named. That is like, it's
Wait, Dylan,
shooting.
Can I do something here real
You
quick?
can do whatever you
Yeah,
want.
go for it. What's up?
Okay, great. I'm just going to change the font to more accurately represent the vibe.
Oh,
On
fantastic!
Quasi
Thank you so
Magic
much.
Land.
On Quasi Magic Land? Is it going to be? Yeah,
It's so
baby.
crazy.
It's so crazy. I think in the breach of the hull is making this raw magic spill out into the void of space, but it's like solidifying there. There's these like huge pools of crystals that have maybe not crystals is the right word. I'm trying to think of like, it's like if a meteor hit sand and all of the superheated like sand like blasted up and all of the glass was made.
Mhm.
It's in these like swirls and crazy patterns. But it's its own biome because people have found that they can walk, if they walk through the Quasi Magic Land, they exit the hull, it's a full biome. Like they can live and breathe inside this like unstable kind of magic field outside of the ship itself. So I'm just going to move this Twinkle Toes here. Just so I could. No! Piss, fuck.
Oh,
There
wait,
you go.
here, I got it.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's this like whole other area, just outside of the hull of the ship. Whoosh.
That's cool. I don't think we've ever done that before in a play of this.
What, making a zone outside of
outside the map? That's cool.
Yeah.
And folks, that's because when you play Rise Wizards, you get to make the rules.
You get to make the rules.
No. Robin wrote the rules. And
No,
you should play
I made the rules. Yeah, I'm
play the
allowed to
game.
do it because I made the rules.
Yeah, that's so true. Literally, only Robin is
Only
ever
I
allowed
am
to
able to
go
do this.
outside the map.
If I even hear of you thinking of breaking the rules, I'm going to freak out. Fantastic. Ellie, would you like to pick a room? Do you want to do a library? You said you wanted libraries all the way down.
That's
no,
me.
that was Dillin that wants libraries all the way down.
Oh.
How fucking dare you?
Wow.
I'm so sorry.
Oh my
Did you-
god.
I thought you
Doesn't even
also
know me at all.
wanted to build the same thing over and over again. Fuck, I'm
This
sorry.
guy doesn't even know who I am.
God.
We met 2 minutes ago.
Literally 2 minutes ago.
I'm gonna do a observatory
Hell yeah.
because I don't have one of those yet, and I still have that die kicking around. That is a 9.
Nebula, your planet is part of a larger whole.
Ooh.
Who do you tell this discovery to? How do the pair of you hide this discovery?
Mm.
Because we already know that there are other flares.
Yes.
And also like a alternate universe where there is a flare, but it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we went and we like had a rescue mission for those guys, right? Like that wasn't even alternate.
I
like,
think
we
the
got
rescue
'em?
mission was proposed. Who knows if it actually went through?
I recommended it.
Yeah, so it's happening. That's my understanding. Okay. Okay.
First of all, who are you gonna try to
Yeah.
help you with this? Because the pair of you could just make it together.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was trying to figure out who makes the most sense. Because, I mean, instinct, I'm going to go to my little neighbor that hates me, that I want to like me very bad. But I think that might piss off my little neighbor. And I'm really trying to get on their good side. They've been really weird about the new neighbors. And that's unexpected. No one could have seen it coming. But then it's like, well, then I just go to who everybody else goes to, right?
Go to the default.
I go to the guy in charge of the science.
I keep
Yeah.
all of the secrets. So you guys don't know that everyone is telling me secrets. But everyone
Yeah.
is telling me secrets.
Everybody
That's
independently
fun.
going, I can trust that guy.
That guy loves rules.
That guy loves rules. That guy knows what's going on. This is perfect.
Mhm,
Yeah, I'm going to go knock on that guy's door.
I like to think the reason why I haven't chosen a name is because no one remembers what my name is, and
We
I
haven't
don't
asked.
realize that. And it just, like, it's been too long and too awkward, and so no one even wants to tell other people that they don't, because
Yeah.
how do you not know
I
by
do
now?
like the fact that no one has ever asked what your name is.
Doesn't
we
matter.
just kind of turn up at your door and we're like, "Hey, can you help us?" And you're like,
Yeah.
"Sure."
Yeah.
So, what is the part of a larger whole that this space station is a part of?
That was me knocking.
Yeah.
I think that I saw something that proves that the different flares are connected. Like there's strands that connect this flare to the alternate universe icy one to other ones presumably across this and other universes. Like it's a network. They can
Yeah.
communicate.
Oh, crazy!
They are one thing. And so I'm banging down the door to get Mr.
Yeah.
Science Man.
Yeah. Is something on fire? What is the problem?
It's all part of a bigger thing. It's all connected.
What is?
All of
Are
it.
you on drugs again?
No. And I never have been also.
Uh-huh.
It's all connected. All the flares. All the flares. One thing. One flare.
You say all of the flares. What are you referring to?
All of them. That we have
All of
one.
them? Uh-huh.
But there wouldn't just be one. That doesn't make sense.
Well, there's us.
Yep.
And then there's the
Freaky
frozen
ice
flare.
one. Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. And
There
then
wouldn't
you're
just
sa-
be two. We've
Right,
seen
that-
the rate at which our flare produces stardust and other universal material.
Mm-hmm.
There has to be more than one, even in our direct universe. And I saw
Where?
in my observatory.
Could I come by?
Yeah,
To-
you want
to
to come
see
by?
I would love to, actually.
Yeah, I can make you
And
some.
have you told anyone else about this yet?
No.
Okay, maybe don't.
I was going to
do that
tell the
yet.
mean bird, but I think he's on like a mission.
Yeah, maybe we hold off on telling the mean bird until we're sure what you're looking at.
All right.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'll go.
They're all connected. From a
Mhm.
specific angle, you can see the thread coming off the top of our flare, and it just goes.
Yeah, that is exactly what that looks like, isn't it? I'm not going to sugarcoat this. The implications of this are actually dangerous, very dangerous.
I was thinking we could go pull on the thread.
No, which
It might be able to, if we pull on the thread and we keep pulling, it might draw the other flare nearer to us, and we could have
don't
two.
know what the nature of that flare is.
No,
so
we
I
don't.
don't. Yeah, and it could be
Yeah.
very bad. It could be bad.
We could. Yeah, we
Maybe.
could.
Okay, if we can find the thread that connects our flare specifically to the ice flare that needs help, we can pull that one closer. That is that one.
But we already
that
know
will
what that
save-
one is.
Yes, but there are people there who are at risk of death. So if we do that, that is a good thing we are doing. And if it puts people here in danger, then there is a reason for that, rather than just carelessly putting our entire station of people at risk out of curiosity.
It's not careless. I care about it very much. I really want to know.
And I know
So-
you
and-
care
and
about
you're
it.
not
I
even
need you to
thinking
be
about what it could be.
careful about it. I'm thinking about what it could mean. There are a lot of things it could mean. It could mean it kills us immediately.
Maybe.
So, I am trying to compromise with you. I'm letting you pull a weird magic string.
Any of them?
No.
I don't know how to find the string that connects to the one you're looking for. I just found out about the strings.
Okay, I will figure out how to. We can figure out how to do the strings.
Okay.
I
Can
have
we
a hunch.
tell other people also about the strings?
We will have to. I'm not going
Okay.
to. We're not going to put the whole station at risk without letting anyone know. Are you insane? There's procedures we have to follow.
Oh my god, I take it back. Can we not tell other people about the strings? I feel like it's
It's
gonna
too
make
late.
it- Fuck.
Yeah.
It's on the Slack. I put it on Slack.
I already put it on Slack. Yeah, someone. It's got a lot of emoji react.
So I guess we don't
Fantastic.
hide the discovery then. That was part of the questions.
Oh
We
wait,
don't.
were we supposed to be hidden discovery?
The answer
Well,
is
no.
we don't.
Oh yeah.
That's
Oh,
that
okay.
is fine. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a question.
Fantastic. Haley, you want to pick up your dice and you want to slide your
I
D100?
don't want to do that.
Kinda, you gotta.
What if that wasn't part of the game?
Oh, I'll put that in version 2.
Where if you're particularly bad at stacking things.
There are rules if you don't want to stack the dice.
I've already Okay, but I've already
Stop.
stacked
We're
it.
already here. We're already here.
So this is useless to me, is what you said.
I think this one. Trying to figure out what the thread that connects all things looks like.
You got it?
No.
Oh, your dice fell.
My fucking dice fell over.
Oh my god,
Fantastic.
that's part of the game.
Fantastic. That's part of the
Oh
game.
no.
So now
died?
the fall happens.
My wizard died?
Not
Hang
the
on.
fancy wizard.
The fancy wizard.
There's still one fancy wizard. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Yeah. Now, so if every single one of your dice fell, your wizard did die. If there is at least one dice on top, so there's 2 dice in the tower, your wizard is safe.
My wizard died.
Oh
wizard
no.
I
So
didn't
your
know
wizard
that's
died.
how you died.
We now
My
do
dice are everywhere.
quote unquote the fall, where
2006, starring Lee Pace.
Exactly.
exactly
So
we're gonna watch.
Yes.
We're gonna watch Lee Pace.
my favorite movie.
mm.
So, using the dice that have fallen, normally if we're doing it on a physical map, the dice would have fallen and sprawled over the physical map. But because we're doing digital, we're going to approximate it. Wherever your dice fell,
Yeah.
you're going to draw around about where they would have fallen
Okay.
if we were using a physical map. on
Yeah,
this,
let
not
me
digital one.
examine the pattern of my dead wizard
Yeah.
dice.
Now,
My
there's an
stinky
interesting
dead
thing.
wizard dice.
Because if your tower falls at any point, that still counts as your wizard falling and dying. So if someone's tower falls and hits another wizard's tower, that tower also falls. That means that wizard is also dead. So if your dice fell in a way that you genuinely assume it would have hit my tower, that would count
No,
as my
I
tower.
think I
God.
avoided your tower perfect.
Fantastic.
Oh, so we're stacking our dice tower where we drew our tower on the map.
correct.
Yes.
Ah.
Yep.
You're understanding.
Okay, so Haley, what dice fell? We had the D100, which didn't fall because that's exactly where the tower was. So that's remaining.
Yeah, so that's the one I put right here. That was
Yeah,
him.
that's perfect.
So I guess he was a 100.
Your home fell, so
Yes.
the D4.
And then a 20 and a 10.
20 and a 10. Fantastic. So what number was rolled on the D4?
Right now after it fell or originally?
After it fell.
4.
Okay, so now we're going to answer some the fall questions before we then move
jeez.
over to Candace.
Oh, man.
Number 4 on the broken home, in quotation marks.
Oh.
A family finds the ruins of your home as their only shelter. One of the family will remember the ruins as home. Who do they become and how do they remember you?
Well, it's a lot of broken glass.
Yeah.
They find a lot of big, incredibly intimidating, unmovable shards of glass that they have to just sort of exist amongst, and they can drape things around it like tent poles,
Mhm.
and they can create little structures this way, but their home will always be dangerous.
Yeah.
They
Uh,
must always be careful even in their own home.
what member of this family remembers this area as home? And who do they become? Do they become anyone?
I think it's some displaced members of that cult that got moved by all the moms, and they left. It was too much happening, and
Yeah.
they didn't care about it that much. So they left. They moved, and they came to here, the place with the best weather, and settled up. Yeah, I think it's like a little, probably not a family that settled right here because of all the sharp edges.
It's more of a found family, just like a group of adults.
Yeah, it's adults.
Yeah.
It's it's a small polycule that settles.
Fantastic.
And I don't think they become anyone particularly special
they
or
just
important.
find some shelter.
They're just
in-
sheltering here for as long as they feel it's fit. It's not a
Fantastic.
place to settle forever, I wouldn't say, but
Sure. Yeah. Okay, your D10.
Yes.
What is your D10 roll?
0.
This is unstable magic.
Oh.
People who live here. There is a gravestone that has been drawn on the page. Where your D10 is, people who live here become trapped, unable to leave. But why do they refuse to leave? They're not able to leave, but they also refuse to. Why so?
Yeah. I think it's that fountain that I ran into earlier that like made you relive parts of your life.
Oh, sure.
And I think it's just the draw of like they can't leave all the glass, but they don't want to. It's the allure.
Because they're able just to
of-
live.
You can just
Yeah.
live in the past and you don't have to worry about anything else that's coming up. You
Oh,
can kind
cool.
of it's like the ultimate security.
Yeah.
And people
Yeah.
they kind of don't even realize that they are stuck
Love.
and staying here.
Hell yeah. What did your D20 roll?
16.
16. A song is always sung here. What does it sign? Oh, sorry, no, what does it sign? That's me spelling. What does it sing?
What does the song sing?
What does the song sing? Not sign.
Well that's over right by the edge of the little village of everybody that moved in, right by Evil Bird Man.
Mm-hmm.
So what song are you gonna listen to forever? I think it's wordless. I think it is just sung kind of as a round in high-pitched tones that build and get more dissonant. Just like a ringing, sort of shattering round.
Cool.
And it's beautiful, but it does also kind of suck to hear after a little while, and you do have to hear it forever.
Because it's a 3-minute long song and it goes on forever.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. So, who knows if we'll get to this, but I will say now. Now that we've done the fall, after on each of your turns, you, now that your wizard has died, now play the monolith. The monolith is now woken up to the influence of the wizards. And the monolith is now aware of what we are doing, the magic that we're doing, the chaos that we're ensuing. So whenever it comes to your turn, Haley, you can do one of several actions that we'll say if we get to your turn.
Okay.
But yes, you now play the wizard who is now awoken and shifted in some way.
Yay!
Candace, what is the room you'd like to build?
I'd like to build a greenhouse.
Hell yeah.
Yay.
Go for it. D12, baby.
8.
8. Alpines. You create an incredibly easy to maintain plant that helps a lot of people in harsher climates. How is the plant used?
That's so
What is it?
perfect.
It's called pelt grass. It is a thick and dense, grassy type of plant that is really good for wind cover, like from wind
Oh
kind
my
of
God.
rushing through different places. Like
cool.
it's a nice insulator that can be woven together to create thatches for roofs or even clothing in some circumstances. That is what it is, I think.
That's awesome.
That's
really cool.
perfect.
Hell yeah. Pick up your tower and place your D12 underneath it.
Good.
Got it? Hell yeah, baby.
Hey.
Yeah.
Okay, your wizard sees a city. What makes it special? You can draw a new city on the map, or you can add to a village or an existing city that exists.
I think that my wizard sees a new city. I think it's right
Cool.
here. Boop. And I think what's cool about this city is that it is encased under a rippling dome, so it can't necessarily be
cool.
seen
Oh,
from the
fun.
outside.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
I love that, actually. It's like everyone knows all the species of every planet that's here, but one of them are like, no, we're going to remain hidden.
Yes.
Cool. I really love that, actually. That's cool as hell. Fantastic. Millie.
Okay, I'm gonna roll a d10. What is that?
That is an arcane testing ground.
Okay. That is a 9. Theoretical.
Theoretical. Your theories and plans have inspired people to create a university. What was the theory that has been proven true? What does the university study?
Oh my God.
Ooh, but I can also do plus or minus 1, right?
Yes, you can. Yeah, you can do blood again, which you've already done. You can do necromancy or theoretical.
Hear me out.
Please.
I'm gonna do blood again.
Fantastic. Oh wait, you've already done blood.
Oh,
Yeah,
I
but
can't
you
do it again.
You can't do blood again. No, because every dice is only used once.
Got it. Okay.
But your D10 might be an observatory, so it might actually be a D100.
Oh, I forgot that's how that worked.
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, can I do an observatory since I already did that?
Yeah, absolutely you can.
And then we've already gotten a 9 or a 10, and I know that's not how that works.
No, yeah, that's fine.
But I still want to do something new, so I'm going to do an 8.
An 8,
Fun.
an asteroid. Something hits your planet. You see that it was thrown. Who do you ask to help excavate it?
Okay, here's the thing. Something was thrown at our planet, which is a crazy phrase. to use a projectile hitting an entire planet. But you know who throws things? The fucking Skeksis as they're traveling across the galaxy.
It's true.
Yes.
So I think we see something land, and I'm going to bring you to investigate.
Oh, fantastic.
Okay, so this seems pretty reminiscent of your whole vibe, and just some of the technology looks similar to what I've seen you and people from your planet do. So I wanted to know, is there anything I need to be aware of when approaching it? It's just this, it looks egg-shaped, but it's very large. And does this ring any bells to you? It's kind of damaged a bit of
Maybe.
the hull.
When we go to take over other planets, we do all fit as many people as we can inside of a ball. Fire the ball at a planet, and then we all burst out at once to overtake the people that we're attacking. I don't know why we'd be attacking here, but I don't have a lot of contact back home, so maybe it's an ambush, maybe it's a plan. I couldn't tell you, but I will help.
In your experience, you're saying they're just waiting for us to get close to it, and then they're
Yes,
going to try and jump us from the egg.
We have been known to wait for several years before being found.
When you say several, how long's your lifespan usually?
Well, we eventually, after a very short amount of time, have to resort to eating one another. So then eventually, after about 5 years, there's only one of us left inside of the ball, so it's not very effective. So up to 5.
Yeah.
Also, we throw each other very violently. There is a lot of us who die on impact when we all fit inside of the same ball.
Okay, so what I'm hearing here is there is a non-zero chance that this is a projectile meant to invade our planet, and that
Yes.
if we wait, let's call it be safe, 5.5 years to approach it, then it will be a
Definitely
much.
all be dead. Yes.
All right, we're doing that. Let me make some calls. And thank you so much for your help in this matter.
No, of course.
I mean, of course, I can't say that we're doing that, but that's going to be my recommendation to the council.
Yeah, of course, I understand.
Great.
There's a little barrier that covers that zone for 5.5 years until it's excavated.
Great.
Fantastic.
Flawless.
Please pick up your tower and put your D100 underneath it.
You're gonna win.
You're gonna get it.
We're good.
Okay.
Fantastic. Nice.
Library. Another library.
Hang
please.
on. Millie
Yeah.
sees a city.
Oh, Millie sees a city. Okay.
Yeah.
I see a city. Yeah, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the enclosure where the egg is going to be. And because we've established that this cult just like they pounce on things quick, they've also built a religion around what this is.
Perfect. Love
it's
it.
another part of it.
Hell yeah. Dylan, you're librarying.
Yes,
Library's
I
all
am.
the way down?
Other side of the concerned bomb, so now they can be concerned in 2 directions.
Oh, that's kind of you to do that to them. Give them something else to do.
I have discovered something never before seen. It seems like some of the natural flora and fauna have been affected by the monolith. How are they affected? I see this like really nice garden. The one that's like between the monolith and the lava pit. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
wow. I guess that the monolith is like really good at making like ground fertile, and I write that down in my journal, and I decide that if we ever need resources, we can just go there and get them. And that's just like where we're gonna get all our materials for spells and study and all of that from now on. It's perfect.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Pick up your tower, place your D6 under it.
Okay, done.
Aces. Love that. You see a city.
I see a city that is like right next to the city I'm in. It's like slightly smaller and like so quaint. And it's like I think it's kind of like a merchant type city where it's sort of like people are going between these different areas on the east side of this map and then coming into this big metropolis, and they are bringing like goods through, like changing hands,
Cool.
selling
Yeah,
and bartering, and then it comes through. So there's like this sort of merchant hub. This is where all the cool alien bars are. Because
Hell
you
yeah.
gotta have cool alien bars.
You gotta have cool alien bars in your sci-fi setting.
Yeah.
Awesome. I'm gonna build a forbidden section because I don't have one yet. I got an 18. You find a popular toy that has lost its original meaning. It used to have power. What is this toy? Why was the meaning lost? I think toy is a weird word for a thing that I find. I think because I'm now scavenging through now with this like destroyed tower of my neighbor, who I am still annoyed by.
Who you miss dearly.
And I miss dearly because they used to annoy me and I miss the annoyance. I think I find a toy that was something that Haley, your wizard was like investigating, which is something that connects the threads. It's like a toy that people would use to be able to talk to the other threads. But it is old now and it has lost all of its meaning. And I think the meaning was lost because it was almost like maybe it was something like maybe it was accidentally lost, or maybe it was forcefully, like people were like, we can't have all these flares talking to each other. It's not even like an anti-union thing. It's like it is literally dangerous for all these people to be able to contact these like star creators to be able to contact each other. But that was a good trillion years ago at this point. Yeah, I think that's what I find.
That's cool.
Okay. I'm going to stack my tower onto my D20. Oh, piss. Fuck. Okay.
Piss.
It went fine, actually.
That's what it sounded like.
Yeah. Okay. So, the second tower has fallen.
Oh, no.
Because of that, it means we are now in our final round. I know. Hey, listen, during playtesting, we knew that this thing would happen.
Yeah.
So... that means that I'm going to do the fall, and then we're going to have one final round where it's just going to go around to everyone. My wizard unfortunately died whilst building their tower. I rolled a 4 on the D4, which is a family finds the ruins of your home as their only shelter. The same as Haley. I'm actually going to draw my little D4 here. I think this I think that this suburb that's built up around me is now just a full, because I was going to have this be built into a city, but I think it is now. It's like it's becoming more of like a sprawling, like very nice metropolis around here. But it's got all of my weird bird Skeksis trinkets. And I think that's how people remember me. It's a group of people who aren't like Skeksis people, but they do definitely like all the stuff that I have. The next one is Salted Earth, which is a D8. The ground burns and becomes uninhabitable. What is lost here? And this is around this area. So it's between the concerned mothers and this little village. I think what's lost is the ability people have to go from the little suburb on the east side to the monolith. I think that whole pathway is lost, and now people can't cross over because as my tower fell, whilst building this forbidden section, it exploded out and destroyed a bunch of the like hull, breaking the ground around it, so now people can't pass over that section anymore, and then this little village becomes very secluded as a result. I then have a 7 on my discoveries, which is the D100. The moon's true form can be seen from this place. I think, since this section is kind of inside the silence zone that Candace, your wizard, made, I think there's something with my observatory and the silence magic that lets you look at the moon from this angle. And I think what the moon is just like how our flares make the sun, I think the ice, other versions, make moons. They fire off like these little droplets. And I think looking at the moon, if you look at it from here, and it needs to be in this silent spell zone because you need to be completely undistracted from the world around you. Everything else to see the moon in its true form, and it is this beautiful ice droplet. And you start noticing that all other moons are kind of these ice droplets all facing in the direction of this kind of other realm that exists. Okay. And then that is me with the fall. We are now going to move to Haley, as this is the beginning of the final turn.
Yes.
Haley, you are now the monolith. You are the flare in the center of our space station.
Mm-hmm.
You can do one of 5 things. This is completely your choice, so there's no more rolling from you.
Okay.
You can either erase someone else's influence. So you can erase the influence of someone else's tower.
Mm-hmm.
Just remove something that one of the towers have created with their magic. You can whisper in the minds of the citizenry. You can convince people who live within your influence to move. You can create a new town where people influenced by you now live. You can put a call out to adventure, influence a group of people to quest to stop a terror that's been created by the wizards. You can help the wizards. Your influence throughout all things, you shift the minds of the wizards in your favor. The next time a wizard of your choice rolls, you instead pick what number is rolled on their dice, rather than them having to roll themselves. And then you have to answer how do they react, and then both of you talk together about how the wizard reacts. Or you can shift the landscape. You can just create biomes, something that exists in the world. Any of these can be used to help or hinder the wizards, and they all come with their own little question. What is it that you'd like to do?
I'm gonna zap away the egg Trojan horse out of existence. One day someone comes to check on it, and there's just like a scorch mark where it once was. He's gone.
Oh, fascinating.
Get this weird goddamn egg out of my space station.
How do you think all of the people who have set up a village around it to react
Poorly.
when they wake up one day and they're like, oh shit, it's gone?
I think it becomes a real, like, they try to figure out who did it. You know, like the initial thought isn't the monolith did it, because they're all set up around this as their main source of power and folklore. Yeah. They think like one of them stole it. It is a bloodbath.
Hell yeah.
It is not
Love
good.
Love it. Okay, Candace. Now, because of the last round, you get a special rule. Seeing 2 wizards both having their towers destroyed, you can have your wizard decide to not build this run, and you're just the only thing you'd answer is why your wizard decides to stand down at this quest of building their tower. Or you can keep going, and that is also fine.
Can you tell me more about my option to have 2 towers?
So as a wizard in a cozy house, you will just start a new tower somewhere else, using the dice that you haven't rolled yet. You'd roll one of them of your choice, and then you could place it anywhere else on the map, and then that is the start of your second tower. When you build it, you will go back to Horizon Question 1. So you will always be answering the question of what tower you build in. So, for example, if you build 2 dice in your second tower, you would answer the second Horizon question. If you decided to continue building it in your first one, you would answer in the dice tower number, the 5th dice in the tower, so the 5th Horizon question.
All right, I'm gonna.
It's a way to make things more stable.
So, am I going head to head with other wizards who have not smashed their tower, or is this just I'm competing with myself here?
There is it's not necessarily competitive.
Okay.
There is something in if there were like everyone was still building every turn. The first person to build 7, at the 7th dice to the tower, they can then challenge the monolith. But there will always kind of be one wizard who has built more than, not necessarily always one wizard who's built more than the others, but I mean, the higher your tower, I mean, if that's what your wizard is going for, which some of our wizards were, then that is definitely positive. But it's mainly just trying to discover magic.
I think in finding out the hubris of the other 2 wizards who have now since passed, my wizard realizes that it's not about how tall, it's about how wide, to get your arms around the people.
Yeah.
In
it
a
is.
really positive way. So we're gonna be setting up a new tower.
Hell yeah.
And we're gonna make it a really cool green guy right on the edge here of the crazy magic
fantastic.
land.
Yeah. Sick.
This is a place where people can go and they can enjoy themselves. There is a room that is like bigger on the inside than it is on the outside, where they hold parties.
Cool.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Yeah, and they like to use some of this like ambient magic from the quasi magical land to make a more iconic place for people to live and enjoy their lives.
Hell yeah. Love that. Roll me the room that you're building. The first room in this new tower.
I feel like because this is like spicy, what we're doing here, that perhaps this first room should be, I don't know, I think maybe a forbidden section. Secrets about the world. That's going to entice people to come, you know?
Hell yeah. Oh my god, I love it.
It's like an after hours club where there's like a password to get in, but it's like knowledge you're getting instead of booze.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
good. 16, that's my favorite number. Hot dog.
Oh, love it. Music. You find an old music box that shows a popular song is actually an old spell. What does it do if it is sung in the right place?
I think it connects you with the power of the flare. I think that you feel you can feel the the inherent magic that is present in the heat of what the flare kind of is descended from, and it pools like in your belly, and you feel connected with the universe and can hear all of the sounds of the universe speaking to you. And I think that the reason that it lost its meaning is because it became a the title of the song became a catchphrase.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like people started saying
fun.
it like in a cavalier way, like as like a throwaway line. And so it stopped responding. Like the spirit stopped responding because it was never clear who actually wanted it there versus who was trying to just like be silly. I feel like hubris.
Wow, I love it.
Hubris is the theme of this
Perfect.
turn.
Oh, I love it. That's fantastic. That's so great. Melly, for the final room, what are we building?
Yeah. So I don't think I can come into this game saying my hubris is hubris and not continue to build my tower.
Yeah,
I
you
think-
gotta. You kinda
Yeah.
gotta.
Yeah.
I'm doing a library.
Fantastic.
I rolled a 3. I thirst for knowledge about a specific topic after seeing it from your tower. What was it? I guess I can. Yeah, I think I will stick with that.
Fantastic.
I've got to figure out more about the thread that connects all the flares.
Yeah.
That's like, and like I have my library and it's normal, and then I have my secret library for all my prideful wizard secrets where everything is in like 4 layers of code, and it's like mostly just things to remind me of things in my mind because I'm very protective over it because it's
Yeah.
whatever this is incredibly volatile and also low-key killed my friend whose name escapes me. Um, So that's I'm
Hell
basically spending my wizard days trying to figure out this shit.
Yeah. Pick up your tower and put your D6 under it.
I'm so nervous.
You're gonna do great.
You're gonna crush it.
I wish you could just kind of go on without me because it's gonna take me a minute.
No, I love it.
My hands are so.
It's
I'm
part
so
of it.
worried. No, hold on. I'm taking off my earphones. You guys are distracting me.
Okay. This is a professional at work, is the thing.
Really is. I don't know if you've
Yeah.
ever had the chance to watch Mills play Jenga. They're very intense
Yeah.
about it.
I'm sorry, tumbling block tower game.
You're so right. I'm
Tumbling
also
block tower
so
game.
sorry, generic brand tumbling block tower game.
Oh, well, they're getting in there, huh? They did it. Look at that. Look at that prideful glad.
We've done it.
Fantastic. Okay, you get the next horizon question. Your wizard sees a part of the world changed by a battle. Draw the effects of that battle. What was it?
I think we're toward the end. So
Yeah.
here's what happened. I got approval to try and pull the thread that was tied to the
Oh my
far
God.
away shard.
Yeah.
I think what happened is it actually pulled a different shard, one hitherto unknown. That's right. There's another shard on the board. It's over here in this other area. It's connected to all the other ones. And I think what happened is it was a people who were just so far back in time relative to us that when we pulled, it ripped through space-time. So entirely unknowing what forces or things compelled them from where they were to where they are now, they just reacted as though they were under attack because in a way they were.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think this area of the aquatic people who are not presently underwater or don't always have to be underwater.
Yeah.
I think that area sustained quite a bit of damage as the new shard came into play.
Wow. Fantastic.
Perfect.
Dylan.
Yeah.
As our
Library
last turn.
again. Please.
Let's go.
You discovered something that scared you into stalking a whole section with ways to stop something. What did you find out and why did it scare you? Someone, I think, Robin, what was your character's name again? Clank?
Clank.
I think
Yes.
it's Clank.
I also forgot I had a character name.
I think Clank came to my door one day, deeply concerned about the fact that I have the book that is meant for the chosen one. You're like, you found out about it because I gabbed. I guess I was like venting in the, in the town hall or whatever about it.
In the group chat. Yeah.
Yeah, it got out. You come to my door and you're like, you have it. You can't keep that. That is meant for someone. Like, and we need them. Do you see what's going on out there? And the whole idea that something in my library could be meant for somebody other than me is so deeply unacceptable that I lock myself in my tower and I hide everything. I think I like cloak us from the world and I stop communicating with other wizards. It cannot be. I don't want to
Oh.
be the chosen one, but no one else can be the chosen one. This is my
Oh,
library.
amazing.
If
Stop
not
being
me,
a
then no
fantastic.
others.
Exactly.
If not me, then no others.
I have stacked
Um,
my dice.
Fantastic. You see a part of the world changed by a battle. What is the battle?
Yeah, I look out and I see in the wake of this ongoing battle, I think that one of the many things affected that is unfortunately this sustainable garden is going to become rotted. And so unfortunately, I'm going to put this sickly color over it to indicate that with some stink lines coming off of it. It's no good.
Amazing. Okay, and now we're in the epilogue, the final little section. On the epilogue section, this is actually the one of the only times we don't roll a dice. We're actually just going to pick. There are 11 questions that we get to pick from if our wizard died, which ours did. If your wizard is still alive, you get to answer 1 of 14. If you're the only living wizard, which no one else is, you get an additional question which you can answer, and there is one question that you can only answer if you're the monolith. None of our people became the monolith. It coming around to me since my tower was the most recent of. Oh wait, no, this is actually not that. It is. Start with the wizard whose tower fell first. So we're actually going to start with Haley.
So, which ones am I allowed to pick?
You're allowed to pick the first 11. One of the first 11
I
questions.
thought I was the monolith.
No, you were playing the
sorry.
monolith.
That is a winner. You were
Your
playing the
wizard
monolith.
didn't become the
If
monolith.
you get
You
your
were
tower,
playing the monolith.
if you get your tower to 7 high, you can become the new monolith.
Got it. But Party Wizard died, and Party Wizard is not the monolith.
Party Wizard died. Unfortunately, Party
Correct.
Wizard can only answer one of the first 11 questions.
Understood. After the fall, a new type of magic emerges. What is it used for? It's glamour magic, baby. There's like
Nice.
in the remnants of my tower is pure frivolity.
Love it.
People go there looking for stuff that's going to help the space station fix the rotting farm. No. It's going to smell nice though.
Beautiful. Then it is the second wizard whose tower fell, which is mine. A day of remembrance is held every year for an event the wizard caused. Why do some people protest that day? I believe it is the new isolated city that exists, which has been
Isolated.
cut off from the rest of the space station. I think these people celebrate it because they believe that the fact that they were cut off was some form of divine.
Oh, you mean my city?
No. The city, the old suburbs, in my mind, eventually grew to a city.
Okay.
The ones that are around
Oh, the
where
Crystal
the
City,
two,
that's- yeah.
the
okay.
two dead wizards are in the perfect climate.
Two Dead Wizard City, as they call it.
The two dead wizards of the city. They
Okay.
pick up glamour magic from Haley's wizard, and then they find weird old tech from my stupid old dying crow raven. And I think they all they believe that the isolation of that city, how hard it is to get to it, is a righteous and true thing. However, everyone else is like, no, this sucks. You should rejoin us. And they keep protesting the fact that that village likes it. Okay, beginning with the wizard now with the smallest tower, which is Candace. Candace, you can ask and answer one of the top 14 because your wizard is still alive under the epilogue.
Let's see. What would I like? These are good questions.
I know, they're all really good.
Oh, man. No one's done 3, right?
No,
don't
no
think
one's
so,
done
no.
3.
Okay. The monolith reaches the soul of your wizard. What information does it seek?
Ooh.
I think the monolith reaches out to my wizard to ask how to find a common ground among the people. I think that there is a spirit of looking out for oneself that has become common between the rise and fall of the cult, which was in theory about community, but in the end was not. There have been 2 different wizards that have fallen to various forms of hubris. There are all of these stories of people who have needed the outreach. And I think that my character, my wizard, May Starseed, says, "Weed man." I think that's the answer. If
Hell yeah.
If you want unity, let them do what they want, give them some feel-good drugs, and the world will take shape the way it should. Nobody tells the jungle what to do, right?
Right.
Fuck, love that. Good. Yeah, right.
Nobody tells the jungle
Nobody
what to
does
do.
tell the jungle what to do.
What a line.
Fantastic. If 2 wizards have the same height of tower, a wizard who most recently built a room goes first. So Dillin,
Which would be me. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am going to say that the destruction of the wizard towers have caused people to investigate. What is people's reaction to finding you alive? They will be met with a weird hostility. They will not be allowed in. I will have so many magical barriers up. When they find me, though, I know that they are. I don't know. Me, Rebecca, I don't know that they are just curious about what happened here. I assume they are coming from my book, and I can't have that. And Rebecca, like, because every time someone comes looking here, becomes more and more paranoid, more and more distrustful, and more reactionary to the people coming here. And this city around her starts to become like a barren place. Like, people start to move away, and the buildings that were here become like hollow, vacant shells. And this sort of becomes what would look like a ruin if it were like in a fantasy series, but the buildings of these ruins are like skyscrapers. And
Love that.
yeah, and Rebecca just becomes like almost like a cartoon witch versus like the sort of like pretty sorority girl that she was.
You do a Wicked.
Yeah, we do a Wicked.
You-
Yeah.
Go from Glenda to being Elphaba.
Yes. Yes.
Which is what happens in Wicked.
Which is
what happens in
exactly what
Wicked.
the
I'm
plot of
pretty
Wicked.
sure it's what happens in Wicked.
And that's what
I've
also
seen
happens
both
in
of
Wicked
them.
Part 2 for good.
Yeah.
Cool. That's awesome. And then finally, we're going to finish our game with Millie. Millie, what is the epilogue question you're going to pick?
I rolled a d10 for it, even though I had up to 16 questions I could answer because that's what I wanted to do.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, I don't need the other ones. I rolled question 4 and then didn't change it. The monolith adapts to reflect the magic the wizards created in the world. How does it change? I think up until now, our monolith has actually been dormant. Like, it hasn't been dormant to us in that there's been a lot of magic, but it has essentially been offline in the way that it's connected to all of the other ones. And I think many of them have. I think pulling the old flare toward it reactivated a part of it. and whatever magical network that existed is now slowly churning back online, and my wizard is trying. I think they tell themselves that I'm trying to understand this because no one else can be trusted with this information. If I know anything about wizards, it's that I don't trust them and that they're selfish, and I can't have this technology fall into the wrong hands. But I think I'm also just I got magic solar flare sickness. Like, I think it's also part of like corrupting my mind, and I'm just very
sure.
intent on understanding this at like the sacrifice of just kind of anything else. I think as time wears on, it's like one of those things where you get to live very long, but then you kind of eventually become something you don't recognize.
Oh, love. Fantastic. And then that is the legacy of our wizards.
Wow.
The building of the towers and then the fall, the collapse of them. Yeah, that's Rise Wizards, baby.
Baby! Wow.
That's Rise Wizards.
Yay.
We built a whole world. We built a world and we had
This
people
is a
do things in
really
it.
deep world full of stuff.
Yeah. Look at all of the map. And so many weird and random events going on.
And you want to see something about the map we made? Okay,
What
ready?
about it?
Just wait. Let me draw something for you. We've got
Oh.
this big triangle. Actually, okay,
Yeah.
I can't draw this quick enough.
Okay.
Fantastic.
All right.
We
I
got
am
this
going
big
to.
triangle.
Oh,
It makes a D4 where all of the things are connected. The lines,
Oh,
the gray
that's
lines
cool.
between all the flares.
Between all the
that's
different
really
flares.
cool.
It's like it's one big
Beautiful.
wizard tower.
One big
Wow.
wizard tower, and the
Twist.
solar flare
Oh my God,
is
it's
the
just
wizard.
like the end of the Men in Black.
Yeah, it is. Everybody, quickly remind everybody who you are and where they can find you. Robin, you go first.
Hello, beautiful, wonderful people. Thank you so much for listening. My name is Robin Ekberg. I'll be found as Captain Krail on all things. This has been Rise Wizards, which is the game I made. It is currently live on BackerKit.
Correct.
With Dylan's game, All's Fair. You can find most things about me if you just search Captain Krail on anything. Thank you so much.
Ames, you go next.
Hi, I'm Ames. You can still find me on podcast, Unprepared Casters, and Critical Lit. You can also find me most places at Amelia Som or by going to links.ameliasom.com. I don't have anything on BackerKit, and I didn't realize it had launched yet because I pre-saved it, and I was like, damn, you guys are really hawking the pre-saves. But no, you were hawking the launch itself.
Haley, you go next.
Hi, my name is Haley Whipjack. You can find me under variations of Whipjack or Haley Whipjack on most things. I don't keep it consistent, but I believe in you.
Find them. Candace, would you go next?
Yes, hello, I'm Candace. You can find me at the Candace Marie on Blue Sky and at Candace Magnificent anywhere without a character limit. I am 1/4 of 3 Black Halflings, so check me out there. If you want to hear me talk about Anne Rice, I'm doing a shitposty book analysis over with Barely Bookish on the Vampire Lestat. And if you like adult cartoons, check out Puppy Guard. It is out by Studio Sama. You can find it on YouTube. I play Crystal, and it is a D&D themed show about shitty little dogs getting up to no good.
That's
Love
so cool.
that, damn.
Oh my gosh. And please find the link to the backer kit in the show notes, in the YouTube description, wherever you happen to be watching and or listening to this. Okay, goodbye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.